we're going to have to be long big kahunas because they're over there in that desk. Thank you guys so much for being here. See you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Sean and Neil time.
I don't even have my mic.
That was fun. That was
Let's be real. It comes over to us, and like Sharif's over at the desk. He talks about where the futures are going, and we have the rundown of
what's coming here. I'm just not ready.
Dude, I forgot. I totally forgot. I'm like, wait a minute. There's no Sharif over there. Oh, that's right. It's going to come directly to us. I'm checking to make sure that I'm not muted, all that good stuff. So as everyone starts trickling in, because want to make sure that you guys are all locked and loaded for the afternoon. I'm just seeing people start to trickle in there. Positions we'll update in a second. I only have a couple of things. The first thing I wanted to point out, though, was going to be BTC. So Bitcoin did make a bit of a breakout this. Hey, what up, Obi? Bitcoin, good job this afternoon. Bitcoin did make a bit of a breakout through the highs as the market has been bouncing off of highs. So pullback in the market, breakout in Bitcoin is incoming. I'm short Rivian stinks, but I just got Mara off of VWAP as you are seeing a bit of a move to the upside. Yesterday, market was doing well in the afternoon and Bitcoin was falling. So you get a little bit of inverse action to a certain degree here this afternoon to start things off. So it's been an absolutely wild day. When I say the market's pulling back a bit, I mean it's just taking a break from what it was doing most of the day. Get right into the afternoon highs, and now we have a couple of red candles in there. So I think it's going to be an interesting afternoon. Things have started to pick up. It was sideways for a while, and just before we get to come in here, you get a little more fun action. But I'm only long Mara off of VWAP and short Rivian off of VWAP, and I'm probably going to say VWAP a lot. Eyeballs on Amazon, which is also at VWAP. I actually don't care which way Amazon goes. If it bounces up off VWAP, I'm going to look longs. If we fail off VWAP in here in this consolidation, I'm going to look short. I almost don't care.
All right, we just got in and out. Not in and out, but my positions are now showing up. So yeah, guys, welcome again. Yeah, I mean, Obi could have done Sharif's job, you know, just stand over there and just say random things about stocks. I think that could have been.
I don't even think there was voting on the symbols or anything today, though. So it's like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there he is. What's up, Obi? All right. Oh, you know, hey, Obi's wearing the uniform. That's the uniform. It's a good thing. Yeah, good thing you didn't wear that the other day when we were together, because I think I might have.
I've never seen you in that shirt.
Paired
though,
up
outside of when you guys were both in the same shirt.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? All right, I'm going to.
I actually
I'm not even in the chat yet, man.
You know what? Is that one of the original shirts?
Which?
That. Remember the ones?
No, but it is. Yeah, no, because I got a green one and I got a like a yellowish one.
So
this is a linen.
If you guys are old school on this show, when we first started out, our producer at the time, I don't know why I did air quotes for that. Yeah, there was this whole thing. We had to wear the button down shirts, and we actually got a bunch that were the standard, and we each got a few colors. Where I was supposed to only wear light colors. So I don't even know where mine are. I have like a light blue.
Right, exactly.
But like, there was one just like that, I swear, and I thought that was one of the originals. One of these days I'm going to wear one. They're a little bit hot. They're way too thick.
That's the thing.
Which is the problem in the studio.
Right,
like
that's why
lights all over you.
This one is not.
Not
one of
that. Look that. Yeah, that's nice. Like.
Yeah. No. So what I want to do is right now I got the wired earpiece in right now. Mine has completely died, so we're just testing it out, and it's all good right now. Okay, so we're short Microsoft right here as it's pulling back in just a little bit. Microsoft coming back into the 200 period. I was all over this chat earlier, and I was like, finally, once the market broke off this high. That's Microsoft, but anyways, that's a daily chart. But there's the market. Tried to come off of this 19,650, basically, move down, finally breaks that 50-period moving average and gets that move. So right now we're underneath. Pretty comfortable holding on to this, but you know, comfort can be temporary, especially in this market. So we are bidding right now 52s, but that would be the best that we've gotten. I think we've gotten a 55 fill or so on this one. And the reason why I wanted to short Microsoft again, and it's kind of the same story. I might just put a bid here somewhere and there we go, cancel the 52s and just punched out some 70s. Reason why again, okay, so weaker. Right, relative strength. I try to keep it as simple for myself as possible because I'm not trying to confuse myself even more than I already am. This is down today. Microsoft's down 0.55. I take this not just to name drop. I mean, JC was on our show yesterday. We talk about this all the time. I've been saying this forever. Trading weaker names into a weaker market is a good idea, and trading strong names into a strong market is also a good idea. and by shorting the weaker ones and longing the stronger ones, most of the time, you'll find yourselves at a higher success rate. The problem with today is it's a relatively flat day on the market. So you're sort of going to have to pick and choose which opportunities you feel are the best based on not only that opinion, which I'm still holding, right, as trade the weaker name short, trade the longer name strong, but also try to find levels even when it looks like it's trending higher. And this is why, look, VWAP, out when it broke, let it settle down, take it back in again. Once the market also agrees with you, then it's kind of like just a big happy marriage when you get your stock plus the market going the same way. And when you're going to trade a name like Microsoft, and I can go over many different names today, like DraftKings, we'll go over that trade in a minute. Maybe Alibaba might be a little bit different, so on and so forth. And what I'm getting at is that a lot of the time, some names will be related to the market, correlated to the market, and others will not. So that's not like a hot take or anything. It's just when you're looking at the Microsoft or Apple's or Nvidia's or any of the Mag 7 names, it is a good idea to also have the Nasdaq with you. So anyways.
Or ASTS, no, just.
Well, ASTS is another example, right? I mean, the market could be up 5% today. ASTS could be up 500%. I don't.
Although we said this morning, we were like, Sing is. Look, I'm not sitting here and saying we traded that Sing stock, but this morning we're like, Sing is the one that's moving, and it's still going 280%. But to that point, just to show you guys, it's still going up 280%. It's crazy. For myself, and I'll get to the Bitcoin move in just a second again. Rivian off VWAP here, like this. The moment when this broke the low of the day, if you pull up a chart, like this is, what is this? It was 10:15, and the market was breaking fresh highs. So this is a Nasdaq. It's right in and around here. Obviously, in Chicago time, it's 11:15. Like you were breaking out fresh highs in the Nasdaq at 19.6 at the moment that Rivian was losing the low of the day. So this one, until proven otherwise, is a short. Very different from yesterday. It broke down the half. It's just a simple VWAP retracement. 13 seems like a bottom on this stock. I don't know about you, but when I look at this daily chart, kind of looks like a bottom to me. So if it gets to 13, we're getting out and hunting for the next level on that one. Just like the fact, if the market rolls over, maybe more works, maybe it doesn't. But when looking at Bitcoin here, right, here's IBIT. I have an IBIT chart up instead of my Bitcoin. It's just easier. I find it's easier to just type in IBIT than remember exactly the formatting of the BTC here at Real Trading. So I end up just doing that. But there is a pullback happening in Bitcoin. So caution, if we lose VWAP, I'm probably just going to get out. A little bit of a top being made here on IBIT. So Mara, I'm on the bid in front of VWAP to get a reload. We scalp some out. But if we lose VWAP and we're still going down in Bitcoin, I think I got to get out of Dodge on that one. Yeah, it looks like VWAP's coming in the other way. Amazon didn't want to hold above. It wants to break down below. So we're underneath some support here. Hasn't broken 177 yet on Amazon. Maybe I'll just short it back into VWAP before that happens. Get rid of that trend line because we don't need the trend line when it's already been broken. I like having those in, but I have a bad habit of leaving those in. Then I'll have I'll have it on the chart 2 days from now. So we're going to look for short underneath VWAP in Amazon. Market about to lose 19.6. Let's get to that downside.
Let's go. Right now, we are now $1 in the money on Microsoft as that gets to the downside right here. We've been pumping that position sort of since we sat back down here. There it is. Here's a nice move down. Obi, what are you getting all excited about over there? What do you have on?
I got 217 halves on.
217 halves on Tesla. This guy. Okay. Do you still have your mic on? Oh, he does. Okay, great.
Oh, sweet.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I'll sorry, we're not.
Hear that?
It's not great. Whoa. Yeah, we'll take it off. Don't worry. I'll talk about Obi's position. We're not supposed to really talk to each other back and forth because it just makes it too complicated for the audience. So, my bad. I just get excited. I hear Obi over there going, oh boy. And then as the market's coming back down, I'm like, what does this guy have? So now that I know what he has. But then he went into like the host mode. He started explaining like every level that he has, what he's thinking, slapping asks over here, all this kind of stuff.
Yo, there's levels to this.
Married men don't slap the ass.
Yo, mute this man's mic. Okay, here we go. All right, so there's levels to it. Yeah, there always is. Right here we go to the downside right now for Intel. There's levels of this one as well. It's another one, followed by some props. We'll go 2 for 2 right now, holding on to these trades. There's the short in Intel, come right back. And again, we just Keep it simple, stupid. Honestly, right back into day's high again. We were sitting there. I was walking around. You know, we got that fill, came into day's high. We had our stop order up there. We knew we wanted to get this name if and when the market bumped up, just the same way we knew we wanted to get Microsoft, which is coming back in right now. We do have a bid down here at 418.30. Look, those of you that know, you know, we'll leave it at that. You got to put on plays. You got to put on positions. Adair even said that today on the show. He's like, if you don't put on your plays, then, you know, what confidence do you really have? So you know, you got to put them on, and sometimes you get hit. We talked about that. We got hit this morning, and what stock did we get hit on actually this morning? Actually, nothing really. But we've been getting hit on plays that haven't worked out, you know, and that's fine. And I just think as long as you battle back and you stay within your zone, you know, you stay within a comfort zone for yourself, P&L wise and risk tolerance wise. Everybody swings differently. I mean, it's just like, you know, you could get that guy that's looking for the bunt singles, still makes the Hall of Fame. Same way, right? So you gotta think about what you're trying to do and manage the positions and manage your own expectations. That's the number one thing that I take away from trading every single day is that at any moment, Neil, you know your net could either be
you don't
one
know
way
what
or the other.
It could be 8:30 on an economic number. It could be off the open in the first 5 minutes. Although I find the easiest time of day to step away from your plan or get outside of the box is the first 5 minutes of the day because it's the highest moment of excitement. You want to have something in there, and oftentimes you're just going to end up forcing it. Someone's smashing the bid on Tesla is what we keep saying. GovX is halted.
Right.
I see a tap of 790 on GOVX. 798 is where it halted. It's currently indicating slightly down. So another low float runner, yada, yada, yada. I don't know what the news is on that one. But we are working our way into the downside. I'm loving the fact I want Tesla to get down because there's no planet in which Tesla breaks VWAP and flushes that Rivian isn't going to see 13 even because Tesla's good and Rivian is bad. And we keep it simple. But it's at VWAP right now. If we lose VWAP here, that could be very, very spicy for just about everything to the downside. A lot of things are about to break down. Amazon just broke level down, going to give that one back into VWAP. And Apple, which was... I mean, it was at one point the strongest thing going in the middle of the day. Still holding, I'm a ways away from VWAP. It's holding, to me, in front of the double top from yesterday. So it had some support in here, 225.5. This seems like it's the one. Like outside of crypto looking decently strong, this seems like it would be the one. Even if it gets to VWAP or just 225.5 for a bounce play. So a big look here on the day for Apple. I didn't have any longs on it. It wasn't part of the plan to be long Apple today. I kind of felt it was Amazon actually today and had NVIDIA long, but nothing doing on Apple for me. And last one, Google about to lose VWAP any second now. So it's once, twice, 3 times. There's a lot of things about to break down. I know Google was having such a really good day, but about to break down here. So I'm looking for some of these flat bottom breaks to happen, but we're just at 19.6 again on the Nasdaq. It's up 0.1%. If it doesn't break this, we could be in for a range-bound day. Or afternoon, I should say.
It's just funny because we were always talking about some options plays here. It's Friday, so let's not forget about that either. This is crazy that, and we talked about how strong Apple was, and sticking with your plans and doing things like that. This is the number 2 P&L name here today. NVIDIA will be number 1, and we'll go over that as much as we can in a couple minutes. But like we shorted into pre-market basically highs when it made this move back. I feel like after looking at what we're doing now, that was a short at 225. We did real well to get away from it. So, and we were able to capture, I think this is just a good example, starting to get some pieces out here, 75s, 50s, VWAP, 50 period, then this VWAP down here at 70s, that 70-cent winner, sorry, at 30s, and then all the way down there at 12s. Giving us that, you know, that 80-cent winner or so, and then another piece out, and then finally, out of our last 10%, we had less than 10% right there, and we talked about that as well. So right there, coming another piece in and getting out at 225. So right there, we take the risk, hit it, and quit it, and then we don't have to worry about this. That's something that I have to do better on. I'd love to have more trades that look like that, where you get out and you don't worry about it, and that's the end of that story, because the number 1 stock for me that's been bad today is this Texas Instruments. We were short here early off the 50 period, then we tried to short VWAP, but look how many times we tried it. Look, we kept on getting stopped out. Eventually, we went long on VWAP, which worked. Like changing sometimes, just going with the momentum is always the best play, honestly. But looking back at it, too many ins, right? Once you're wrong, you're wrong. And then that's why I'm looking at a stock like an Alibaba here, like there we go. There's the in, there's the out. Boom, it's easy trade, easy trading. That's the kind of stuff that I feel like we all want to look for, is the easy trades. You're not sweating them out. You're not like, oh my God, where's my out, where's my out? And I think Neil and I can both have examples with, I put Tesla basically back to Greensville by finally following the momentum, but this is another example. We wrote down on Tesla, 216. Like Neil does his great lessons during the day, and obviously that's probably our best segment. But the thing is this is in the wild. Like we're talking about risk management here, and I know Neil has an example on Tesla as well. This is 216. It's exactly following our plan. It's written right here, Tesla 216 short. And I even said, not in love with this, but might want to try it as the market weakens. Well, the market didn't weaken at all, and Tesla got going. So we went short. It's right at 216 now, I know. So we went short right there and got out for 50 cents. Like we put on the normal amount of risk. It's well in there, and then it comes back, and we buy off at that time the 200 period. Now it's a little bit higher, but where the 200 period was, and able to make. And look what we make when it gets back in, right? These are 214.50s. That last piece is 216.50. That's $2. So making the money back there that we lose there. Anyways, that's just a little bit of a in the wild, as I hear Obi always say.
I like that term.
Or Sharif or something.
Well, because, it's anybody can open up a textbook with technical analysis or or any book on stock trading, but nothing is ever going to look like it does when you go to Investopedia or when you go to one of those books. That's not, when you go to a resistance level, it ain't going to get there the way you want it to 99 times out of 100. So, when you find these things in the wild, the only thing I will say about Tesla that's any different from what Sean said is sometimes when you like the level, if it does something really bullish into it, like that's the reason to go for the reverse. Hindsight's going to be 20/20, but it really did liquidity grab underneath the pre-market low. Like it psyched everyone out that we're going down off the open. Then it broke back up, broke this consolidation. So when it got to that high, that's like one or two reasons why it could have been a reversal trade. No, I didn't have it, and I wasn't thinking reverse on Tesla. You stick to your plan, and sometimes it's not easy to pivot in a moment like that. But I'm kicking myself because there was a false break of the bottom, a breakout of resistance, and then it broke a double top. And it is Tesla, and there have been shorts getting burned, and all that kind of good stuff. So, you're not going to reverse every single trade. If you reverse every single trade, you're just going to get yourself chopped up, and the algos are going to love you, and Citadel's going to love you if you reverse every single trade because they live for that kind of thing. But sometimes something is like so strong that when it hits your stop level, you'll want to be able to have that in your toolbox. I know for a fact, and going back to that SMCI thing debacle last week, when I was sitting there saying there's an unusual amount of selling in SMCI at 5:30.
Using that voice though, or
no? I'm mocking myself.
Oh, okay.
Because I was long SMCI, and I was like, this is moon. It's going $10 here, and then I turned. I was like, there's a weird amount of selling going on at 5:38. And I said it a few times, like I'm getting out. And then I sat there and I'm like, yeah, I felt really good about myself too because it started going down. Yeah. And then it dropped like $20. I was like, well, that was instead of celebrating in the moment or being happy, I should have realized that was probably a short. Like you were seeing something, and then it's SMCI, and it starts moving. All right, Mara can't seem to go much off of VWAP here, and I had my IBIT chart up now. Oh crap, what did I do? There it is. There's IBIT trying to double tap the highs. So it needs to break out this top. I don't like the fact that the market pulls back in, and we're no longer trending. I want this breaking a fresh high, so I'm just going to get on the offer again here inside of the range, so I can take something out in case we don't break that high on Bitcoin. I'm just showing you guys IBIT. Rivian still looks fine. Amazon, I wanted to let it get to VWAP. I don't think that was a patient trade. I said I was going to short VWAP and then shorted a breakdown. So it's like, now let's get out, wait for it to actually test VWAP and get a better short. Amazon has been relatively strong today, even though it's turning red. Let's let it get back into this level before we work back into that position. NVIDIA is having an afternoon nap, says Miss Yellow Dot in the chat.
I like that.
I mean,
have an afternoon nap.
I find, what was really cool?
I mean, they're not productive anymore because it's just like
no. The only time afternoon naps used to be cool was when was when your kids are when you have your kids doing naps, and they still do like the midday nap.
Yeah,
and then
yeah, that
you
was
catch
the
a little
worst.
extra sleep when your kid is doing the nap
The minute
time.
they stopped napping, it was like
It's a colossal
over.
change
It's
because you
over.
either get stuff done or I was just sleeping
wanna
often
check the weather.
with my daughter. But Nvidia's right back into those highs. Spoiler alert, we still haven't had the 125 break. So for all of those, that idiot this morning that's saying let's just go long when Nvidia breaks 125 instead of shorting that level, that's me. I was that guy, and this is what happened off 125 on Nvidia. And the worst part about it, let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, Nvidia already fading before 125 level, 120 and 118 support. That was what I wrote this morning, and I still didn't want to short Nvidia at 125 because generally speaking, I don't like shorting Nvidia this week. But that was probably a mistake. We'll see what happens if we get back into that 125, but I still think this can be a breakout on NVDA and its cohort, or I don't know, whatever, its cousin. What do you can't even call it, you can't call it its brother because the market share is too big. Its ugly stepchild or something, AMD, not really doing much of anything either. But I would be inclined to believe if you're uncomfortable shorting Nvidia, but you want to express a rollover if we get to 125, AMD's got a nice little double top here at 149.5, not that 150 on a Friday. I feel like that could be a little bit of trouble for it. So AMD would be in the pocket if you wanted to hunt for something else to the south side. Let's try to be patient here. I said with Amazon, I'll let it get into VWAP. I think it wants to at least attempt to oblige me, although it's rolling over a bit. So reaching a little bit of patience. We'll see if we can get that 177.
Oh,
Yeah, that storm.
I'm watching the storm here. There's supposed to be one coming here. So we play at 6:30. It looks like it's like 7:30, 8 o'clock is Armageddon. So I mean.
How far do you have to get through before it's an official game?
I might just throw my best pitchers and close this game out after.
Of course you
after
do.
4 innings. But
You have to.
I already got a text from the other coach. So we're in second place. I think we're 13-5. And he messaged me. I was like, yo, you got to take it easy on us tonight because we have 4 call-ups. I have 1 call-up. Oh, no. Fabian, man, what are you doing to us? So right where that handle is, show everybody where Toronto is. Yeah, push play. Yeah, right there. Oh, no. No, what time is that? Stop. Oh, no. What time is that? That's bad. No, one more back. Oh, right there.
Right there.
11
Oh, that's
PM.
late.
Okay. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. If there's ever lightning, you can't. The lightning.
No,
is
one strike.
Is a kaput.
Look, there was I'll never forget.
that one.
I was playing for Brampton. I was like 14 years old,
What
and
did
I
you get?
was away at a tournament, and but my mom was listening to the radio because there was like a bunch of storms happening in the area that we were playing, and a kid got hit by lightning a town over. I forget where we were playing. Got hit by lightning playing
by
baseball
lightning.
a town over.
I think I remember some.
And that
stories
story happened, and I was out of town playing. My mom was freaking out because there's no cell phones back then. She had no idea if it was is it at my son's game. And I remember I used to wear metal cleats back
Did Neil
then.
get hit by lightning?
No, they didn't stop. They didn't stop our game. It wasn't automatic
Could
back
you see
then.
the lightning though?
Yeah, there was storms happening everywhere.
Oh, wow.
But like it was umpire's call. It was judgment call. Nowadays they do not play around with that. This is 30 years ago. Nowadays they do not mess around. One single strike and you get the you know what out of dodge, which is the smart thing to do. And I feel like that's what you got to do with. That's what you have to do with your trades too. Like when you have one thing extreme happen that makes a trade not look good or make it look good, and you want to take some action with it. So Mara just bounced off VWAP. I'm getting nothing out in front of 90s, and it just tagged off of VWAP again. So going to get some out, see if we can't get some more off VWAP. There's not a lot happening here. So if it's not going to break out 16, then you got 80s at the bottom and kind of 90s at the top. So I can play inside of that range for as long as it wants to here. Be Free is a soccer coach as well. Football, they don't care, man. Pouring rain and they'll still go. Baseball players, they ain't playing.
it could be raining. The problem is the lightning.
Depends on how your field
It's
is,
a
though.
half hour until you can take the field.
That's how it's
again.
supposed to be.
Yeah, and I think it's same for football too because they have the metal
The post.
the goalpost. I would think. I don't know. It's an insurance thing, right? Like we can't even have practices.
Liabilities.
Yeah, we can't even have practices unless the fields are permitted. You can't like get together with your team because there's no insurance. I know it's a little bit.
Well, if you know the right diamonds locally,
That's what I'm saying, but
Sometimes you can get away with it.
Oh no, you can get away with anything. It's not a crime unless you get caught. You know what I mean? But it's risky when you're dealing with kids, of course.
Hey, it's true.
You just got to make sure. Yeah. Exactly.
Permit? Of course we got it. Of course I have
Primes?
a permit. It's in my back
What's up with
pocket.
primes?
Let me just go get it in the car.
Okay, so just quickly, Intel, we did get some out on VWAP. I mean,
Dump it.
you're always gonna think, why didn't we get them all out down here? But you know, if the market is gonna start to dump down here a little bit, which right now the direction is definitely southbound as we go underneath the 50-period moving average. This is 5-0. Sometimes maybe I repeat that. And last night, and you know, again, Obi, myself, Neil, obviously with his foot, wasn't able to come. We went to the event and they just come. I mean, I don't know, Obi. These guys just come up to us. They're like, "Oh, you guys are from Trader TV Live," and I'm just like, "What?" Like there's only 30 or 40 people there, maybe 50 people. I don't know. Yeah, it's a niche. Yeah, and people are like, "Oh my God, Obi's up in the building," and I was like, "Yeah." And then there's Sharif and everything, and
You guys are out there slapping ass.
The biggest thing that was happening was people were like, "Oh man, wow, Sean, you actually look a lot stronger than Sharif in person," and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, you know."
I've been saying that from the beginning.
Yeah, I know you are. I mean, people around here, but
I mean, Sharif is the.
sometimes it doesn't come across well on the camera.
Well,
People were like, "Holy crap, dude!" Like, wow, okay. So I was like,
What were you
"That's
guys
really
drinking
nice."
last night?
So while you know, Sharif goes up to the desk there and he's like, "Oh, I'll have a Sauvignon Blanc." You know, I'm like, okay, I see how you're doing that, Sharif. So anyways, so then they had some craft beer there.
That's
so
what I'm
one
saying,
was,
like,
one was just Italian lager, so I had one of those. I also did join Sharif with a nice, very cold Sauvignon Blanc, and I don't know what you had. Yeah, so we all had the round of wine, thanks to Sharif there. But of course, the drinks we didn't have to, you didn't have to pay for. You know,
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know,
it's on the house, you know what I mean? So,
test out a new brew, a new beer that you've never had at that place. That's what I usually like.
oh yeah, the girl was like, "This is a rare beer," but then Obi was like, Obi was like, "Hey, here's Adobe Photoshop," and then Obi was like, "No, I've seen that beer before," so it was like a big thing there. But anyways, yeah, it was really nice. It was fun.
A rare beer.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, it could just mean it's not something that you see.
It was a rare beer. She was right, but Obi, you know,
No, but
it wasn't like a Molson.
when you roll in circles like Obi does,
was it
then there's
Miller
not
Lite?
too much that you're going to consider rare. That's, you know, we don't all roll in those types of circles like Obi.
And then we got into Sharif's car, and like you could definitely know this guy has no kids, no nothing ever. Anybody in that car allowed to leave a pebble of dirt. I get into the car and I'm just like, new car smell, check. The guy's had this car for a year and a half.
His new car still has the smell.
It still has the smell. And I go in there. I feel like I was the first one to sit in the back seat there. Like honestly, I was like, Obi's in the front. Boom, we're in the back, and everything pristine. And you know, when Sharif comes back on Monday or whenever I see him next.
You know what's in the back of my Audi? You know those
what's in the back of mine? Like
you know those
French
Welch's,
fries.
those Welch's
Grape thing?
grape snacks.
the squeezables?
The snack. It's like the
it's
like gummy candies.
Yeah, I know exactly what those are. Yeah, those
Yeah,
are
like
right.
there's
That's type
probably
stuff.
like 15 packs of that nonsense, just always on the ground. There's stickers on the
There's
back of my
definitely
seats.
napkins.
They are very good. I love them. They're really good. But my daughter, you know, at the end of the day, she, you know, cleaning up, she'll open it and then it just gets dropped in the back, and then I'll forget about it, and it's just an absolute mess.
You just also have like our kids are playing sports.
Well, it's a
so
snack. It's a snack
like,
on the way home, right? And
No, but I mean, how dirty they are. Like their uniforms. Like honestly, Gia's sliding just for fun. Then she comes in the car and it's just like she kicks her feet up on the dash.
if you don't, if you don't get dirty playing baseball,
Yeah,
you
Sharif
don't
living
play.
the single life. I'm pretty sure that is correct on that. Well, I don't know if he's single or not, but he's definitely living the no kids life. That's for sure. But he always does talk about his nieces and nephews. So definitely, we like Sharif. And just commenting on the pristineness of his car, Welch's. Yeah, isn't that what he said?
That's what I said. I said, what did I say? I said Welch's. Sharif's like
Sharif.
Sharif.
Sharif's running the board
Fabian
today, by the
is
way,
like
so.
Welch's. I'm like, I said Welch's. That's what I said. It's the good stuff.
I know exactly what you meant there. They're those grape, there's those bursty candy kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually really nice. They're actually pretty, I think they're
I mean,
one of the
I
healthier
steal
ones.
some myself too. We have boxes.
Whatever they
upon
sell at
boxes.
Costco, we have boxes of those. But my kids aren't really down with that right now.
Well, they're a little. Your kids are a little older.
They are way. They're
Plus,
older,
she's an athlete. Like she's a serious athlete now. She's got
down
to.
with Macron.
You gotta have the fruit. You know, get that
pastries.
fruit in there.
Oh yeah, fruit. Yeah, that's a good
Come
one.
on, market.
Okay, so I tweeted something out. Forget what market. Who cares about the market? We have stuff to do.
I'm
over here.
staring at Nvidia. I won't go.
Hold on a second. Oh, someone's messaging me. Should I open this up live on the show to see who's messaging me? Nah. Okay, here we go. This is what. Watch this. Dipsy, do watch this shot, Neil. Where did you see that go? Here, this is my daughter, 9 years old. Here,
Top
look at this.
shelf.
Bang. See you later. Here.
It's over.
Bang. And that's from 15 feet out. This is the face-off circle right here. Look where it goes. Bang, bang, bang.
Bang. I'm just gonna throw another one in there for you.
I mean, that was I don't know. This is what I'm obsessed with.
I gotta send that to PK. He couldn't do that at that age.
Of course he could not.
I'm being straight up. No, I'm not punking him. I'm just saying.
She just spends a lot of time working on it. And I think you can even equate it to trading. It's just like the discipline. She goes out every night and takes shots. She's there right now in the summertime at a rink. So, you know, it's hard work pays off in many, many areas of life. And I think just discipline as well. And doing something that you really like. I mean, we don't have to force her 1 minute to do anything sports related. Okay. You know, yesterday I come home and she's watching it was a YouTube video, $1 coach versus $100 coach. And it was just a funny thing, but like the $1 coach was giving these bad sort of hitting advices. And then the $100 coach was giving great ones. It was just,
that sounds kind of jokes. I think I'd watch it.
It was funny. And I was just like, anyways. All right, so we are, back to the market, I guess, okay, for right now. I'll just talk about the same kind of positions. We did cover some Microsoft there. It was barcoding again. And you might have just saw me looking at Intel. It's actually kind of a little throw up in my mouth there because we could have got out of them all down here, and we're still holding pretty much like 35% of this trade. We got out some nice outs right there as we were patient, waited for those. Then we got a whole bunch more here. So if each of these are 10%, I have 45% left, but there was a little bit more out here. So anyways, 30 to 35% left of this Intel trade. Not super proud of that. Really happy with the execution on Microsoft. Normally, we are out of a trade like this a lot earlier, but we were able to hold it. And the reason why is we didn't get too greedy here. We took some out when it came back in. That gave us an opportunity then that when it spit down, it was so quick that it got right into the 200 period. So what I mean by not getting greedy is we already had our plan. The plan was to sit at the 200 period moving average. So when it came in, we got those fills. So we didn't have to worry about where those levels were. We were already sitting there. I think that's the key. That's key.
I actually find it makes sense. If you want to fill at VWAP, you're like, oh, I'm gonna take fills at VWAP to get out or to get into something. Well, to get out for sure. To get in, it's a different story. You might want to see what it gets down there. But if you know you're gonna do it, just be on the bid. Like, don't get cute about it. If a crazy market moves happens, you can always cancel the orders if you like it. But what I like about this that's happening in Mara is Bitcoin is still not really breaking out, though it's at the highs. IBIT, forget about the 4%, it means nothing to a 24-hour market. But it just tagged 16 or close to it, so I got some 98s out. Just a simple VWAP trade here. And I saw you in the chat, Sebastian. Let's make a thing about how many times Neil says VWAP in the afternoon show. If the last time there was a challenge about whatever it was and how many times I'm going to say it, I think it was early on, we were on YouTube. People threatened they were going to do a drinking game about it. Let's just say if you do that, then I'm going to mess with you. Because I say it a lot for a good reason, and trust me, I have no qualms about inserting VWAP where it's not even necessary just to have fun with you guys. But we say it because it matters. And a lot of times, it's not about automatically making a trade there, but if it sets up there, I'm going to take it. Initially, I was taking this on a consolidation on Mara. And then it dipped and showed me a bounce literally at VWAP. The second I saw that happen, it's like we're adding at VWAP. And when it came back in, we're sitting at VWAP. And then I missed this entry here, which is stupid. And if we get back down to VWAP, we're going to go ahead and do it again unless Bitcoin is tanking. If Bitcoin's tanking, I'm not sitting on a Mara bid. That's always going to be a rule. So let's see what happens. I was still looking at that GovX for you guys or for anybody that was trading it. It's doing this weird, not a barcode, but over and over trying to break $8 and failing $8 and break $8 and fail it back and forth. So I think it's running into a little bit of trouble up here. So there's no reason on the daily chart why it should. It's one of those reverse split runners. Just needs to hold above the $8 or I think this could be in a little bit of trouble after the halt. So it halted up at 798 and now all of a sudden it's just back and forth off that halt level until it resolves itself. I think you just want to be patient if you're trading this. Still no 125 on Amazon, on NVIDIA. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But if the market wants to just, hey, we're going to have a lazy Friday, then find something range bound That's why I kept talking about some things bouncing off VWAP in one direction or another. And the last thing, this Rivian, if it gets back up, I'm just going to offer VWAP at $13.30, or we're going to see the $13 low to the downside. And you know what? If the market isn't moving much, you've got to be patient waiting for the right opportunity or the right stock or the right level, or scan and start looking for stocks. I got my Halt scanner up just in case something else goes crazy, because that could be the thing in the afternoon.
All right. She just practicing. My friend Pash is like, who the hell is that? Because his kid also plays hockey.
Yeah.
And he's always like, Gia should come teach him how to play. I'm just like,
well,
Gia would like that.
I mean, you've seen Pash play sports. So.
Yeah.
I love. He's a great
I think
dude.
this kid is actually pretty good at hockey. I think.
Well, yeah, it comes from Meg.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely not coming from our friends.
No, I mean.
But okay, so here we go. Just real quick. So let's find some more trades. The one trade that I was looking for. So I have a scanner up right now that's looking for VWAP trades, looking for things that are at days high and things like that. And right now there's not a whole heck of a lot that is crossing across my scanners right now. So we'll have to just try to be as patient as we can, wait for the trades to sort of pop in, and when they do, we'll find them. Affirm right now. Okay, here's one. So here comes, okay, this is actually interesting looking right now as we look at Affirm. Look at this. I mean, see, this is why this is hitting. See, remember I just said scanner, day low scanners? So right there, right now, this is a day low scanner on Affirm coming through right here, right now. So this name looks like it wants to break lower. These are generally trades that I'm all about when you get to this, especially this time of day. If the market wants to fall down and you're already pretty weak, what about Affirm? Look at it follow this 50-period moving average to the downside right now, $28. Affirm, again, just really got hit recently as it makes this move to the downside. On the daily chart, you're underneath the 200 period. You're underneath $30 at the 50 period. And look at this momentum. So, all right, for me, we haven't broke the 50-period moving average since 1:30. That's give us an hour. I like that. And you may float back up. You probably did there at some point, getting pretty close. I think if we do it again, we can try to short this. So we're not too far away right now. 28.25 or so for Affirm. So that is a level for me to look at. And that just sort of showed up on the scanner. And then
that's a weak-ass stock, man.
I know. I want to look at your screen to make sure you weren't going to talk about this, because there's another name that's been on my radar today is Palantir. We don't have any trades on it right now, but mistakes abound on this name, because you could see right there, we did have a great opportunity to buy VWAP right there, which we should have done in the first place. And the second place just happened right now at 215 when we dripped into VWAP again at $32. So there's a couple plays. If you like the long, I think a Palantir fall back into 32, even 32 quarters, you can start it, but that's kind of where we are now. I would say wait for a little bit more in the teens for Palantir if you can get that. So a little bit of a move down would be great for that name, or Affirm, a little bit of a move up for Affirm to get short. I would try it maybe a little bit above the 50 period, but even around here, 25s, 30s, something like that for Affirm could be a trade that's taken, and that would make sense to me. So that's something.
Short weak stocks, long strong stocks. Yep. It's that simple.
I know,
and Shadow, thank you very much, Marie H, for the super chat. Hey fellas, what are your thoughts on the Qs? And Neil, please say VWAP. Well, there you go. I just read it, so I said it once, and of course I'll say it a second time. VWAP, VWAP, VWAP. And if you're interested, if you wonder what VWAP, if you don't know what VWAP is, we actually on our other More Trader TV channel, you can find some of our old instructional videos or educational videos. And I'm pretty sure the first I could be wrong about this. The first educational video we ever put on YouTube, I believe, was what is VWAP. I'm 90% sure that that's a fact, but I could be wrong about that, but I feel like that's true. We'll see what happens. So Mara just made another push through 16. I want to respect this double top at 16.25 and this lower high in here. 16.10 was resistance on the way back. So it tagged 8s, got some out at 6. If we get a chance for a reload off that 1580, we'll go ahead and do it. We're starting to run out of time. We're not. It's not even 240 yet. If it does pull back, I like that support. If we can get it again, we'll go back to the 1580 level. Should be a good one. We'll see what happens with this. And then Amazon, we were going to wait for this to make a better test here. of resistance, and it looks like it wants to do exactly that. And as promised, the Nasdaq, I think the key look would be we could not, this is the one day where we didn't actually have push through to break any highs. And the last 2 weeks, it feels like breaking highs has been no problem. Overnight highs, previous day highs, all that kind of good stuff. We couldn't get past the overnight highs today. And since that happened, you are putting in lower highs. So overall, it feels like find a strong stock and only be long those, because I still feel like the way the last 2 weeks have gone, with these rolling lower highs, I'm looking for opportunities to be short. Bitcoin has been counter trend here because it's making fresh highs. That's why I like Mara. But in almost everything else, I'm looking for opportunities to fade it with these lower highs. 19.6 has been good, but if we lose 19.6, you want to be short in power hour. I think that's an easy call. When the market does that, almost unprecedented type move the last couple of weeks when everyone was panicking, I look at it as a sell opportunity for people to be taking profits and lock in unbelievable profits. NVIDIA 39 or 40% since last Monday. The Qs were like 13%. I mean, there's a whole host of stocks that did just ridiculous power moves. I can see people taking it off the top here in the afternoon.
Yeah, yep, I like that call. And again, yeah, just the Nasdaq's up over 5% this week. That's come on. You know, generally speaking, I think it was 18% or something in the last 17 years, something like that for the Nasdaq in that little bull run where we had zero interest rates. And now, even this year, it's up something like that as well, 12 or 13%, and then obviously a little bit less than half of that was this week alone. And we looked a little bit different last week as opposed to this week. All right, just a quick update. Because we're above the 50-period moving average, I did, with regrets, take some more out there. And again, it's still 65-cent winner as we break through 419, but I did take another piece out right there. So we're getting lighter and lighter. We'll only have about 20% or a little bit less than that left. As now, I don't have any more bids, so we'll wait for that. I'm just noticing I have a bit of NVIDIA at 122.25. How long ago did I put that there? Okay, well,
that's probably not gonna fill.
You know what I put that there? That's
Wait a minute, though.
Oh no, I don't have
9:15.
No, 11:01.
Oh,
yeah, it would have filled if it was there earlier because it went all the way down. But well, actually, yeah, right in there off the open. Anyways, yeah, it must have been right there. So that's where the 200-period moving average is. I'm going to cancel that right now as I'm trying to clean up a little bit of the position board or of my positions now. So that's that. All right, NVIDIA, a little bit of a pullback here. Again, I would look at this and I'd say the risk is to the downside right now. That if you're long, I would say that's the risk, right? I think that the downside right now could come back into play as the market just hovers around. Look at NVIDIA. It clearly doesn't want to get any higher, in my opinion. We had that huge move early where everyone got pretty excited here, Fabian, on that move to 125 right there. We were long. This is my number one stock. Well, Microsoft's trying to say something about that, but right now, long right there and out. So that was a great win early off VWAP. We tried to get it again. Unfortunately, we missed it by a couple pennies. Then it falls back into the 200 period. And luckily enough, we weren't really sitting here when this happened. I have to find out what stock we were on, but it was not NVIDIA. So I probably would have taken VWAP again there, but then we find the 200 period, and luckily enough, that held. It also held there. It also held there, and it basically held again. So we're going to try that one more time at 124. If it does come in and you're looking to go long on NVIDIA, I feel like that's a decent play. But for me, I'd rather short it against 125. So I'd rather have this thing bump up a little bit, which would hurt. Oh, wow. Okay. I was going to say, what's going on there? My net just kind of bumped a little bit. Microsoft on the drip. I'm going to take a piece. And this kind of goes against, I said I didn't have any more bids out, but that just fell in. We just took a 419. I'm sitting here at 77. So sometimes, okay, there it goes. We got filled. So yes, sir. That's a good one. We'll go. Where's that bear? No, I don't want that bear. Hold on a second. I got to get to another. This is the bear we want. A little more aggressive bear. Right there. So that will get to the downside and take some more profit on Microsoft. And all the trades today, we've won on some shorts, we've won on some longs. But right now, I'm going to go short into this close and just try to hold on to this. We have reloaded. We actually have something for that as well here on Intel. But Intel is, I only reloaded because it's the same level again. Obviously, our outs are right here. If you're going to give me the opportunity to put on shares with a 3-cent stop or something like that right now, that's already worked for me twice, I'll do it again. Because even if we lose on this trade, it's like what we've made on this a couple of times. And you never want to throw, again, bad money after good. But if the trade is here again, then I'm going to take it one more time. And at least if I get hit on it, then it's something that I've already experienced on this stock. So, so far, so good there. So that's just a little bit of a talk on some names that I'm looking at here into the close, but no pending orders really anywhere other than Intel bids.
Yeah, I'm still scanning around trying to find something different from what we're already looking at. As we said, like Nvidia's not doing much. I feel like that should be low-hanging fruit if it makes any kind of a move. I just double-checked over on AMD. Load. There we go. AMD, it's not really doing a heck of a lot. So I don't want to, like, we always talk about don't force things, but I feel like that goes double on a Friday. Like on a Friday, it's Friday afternoon, it's always especially important not to force any trades. And I'm not seeing, like A+, like if you get wick a high, that could look pretty good. I just tried to grab Amazon on the way back in, only to see it. They kind of broke this, got to VWAP, broke down, tried to grab it, but I'm just going to sit around and see if I can't get picked up on the offer in front of VWAP to be able to get that trade back inside. Let us know what you guys are trading in there. If you guys have anything that you're interested in or any symbols you want us to look at, while the market tries to do this dance off 19.6 and eventually maybe lose the 19.6 level, that's where my head's at. I'm looking for places to get in if we do bust that short to the downside. And just nothing is absolutely flying around that I'm going to see. Oscar saying Lumen. Yeah, we can have a quick look at it. I know it's only up 2%, but it is at the high of the day. So if you're looking for a secondary, okay, this is like not even like a second, third, fourth day since the drop, but this does look interesting if it can break a $6 level. Yeah, that's pretty spicy. 6-ish. We break $6 on Lumen. That looks like it would have some room to run. But like all breakout trades, what do I always say? I can sit there and stare at NVIDIA 125 till I'm blue in the face, which I pretty much did for most of the afternoon or most of lunchtime. I was like, okay, NVIDIA, this is it. It's been bullish. We're going to break 125. Orders there, orders there, orders there. And then it was a short every single time off 125. So if it breaks 6 and we're not at 345, I think that's a good opportunity here on LUMN. But you can see not a lot of volume happening there. But good one to have on the back burner maybe. So I do like the shout out and appreciate that one. We'll be looking at some Lumen. Could always just look for a reload on this bad boy. The longer this barcode, the more enticing it is to just short here in Rivian. Add to it inside of the range in case it makes that push down into 13. That could be the way to go. It's about to test a high. If it doesn't start breaking back up, I'm going to look to add to it in this range on RIVN, something that's at least trending for me. And high of the day is incoming on Mara. The plan is to take the high of the day. So if it gets up to 1625, it's already a double top. Any failure up here, and I'm getting out of the trade. VWAP to the high. If it's a range-bound day, then I want to trade something inside of the range. And it's not as if Bitcoin is breaking or making fresh highs. It is not. It is holding the same high. So if it turns around, I don't want to look that gift horse in the mouth. 1625 double top, I'm getting out in front of it.
I like that. I mean, that Mara trade is great. We had Mara listed on here, and it was funny. I was looking at, I know where it is, and I looked at it. That's why. I had written down here 1550 long. So, again, that is just, and we're talking about if Bitcoin holds 58. Well, Bitcoin right now is at 59 and change. And again, just go find it at Trader TV, Sean, for the sticky note. But here's Mara right here, and Neil just talked about it. 1540 was the low. So, I mean, 1550 was cash, and we just, instead, we got a rain check on that play. So that's not a good one there. Maybe rain checks are something that a lot of people don't know about anymore. Do they still?
They don't.
I don't know if they do rain checks anymore.
I don't think they do rain checks
anymore. All right. So anyways, I'll take a rain check on that one. All right. So Intel right there, it does break higher. We talked about 3 cents worth of risk. That's exactly what we took there. We're just trying to be honest with the trading, and that's what we did, and we got out. And again, like for this to happen, it's completely fine. We actually talked about that we only had 30% or so left on that trade, and it went from top right down to bottom. So that's the trade. That next time we'll just have to get out of more of it. And we talked about all trying to figure out what we all need to do to get better as traders, and I feel like that's part of it for me too. Try to get better and try to hold on to things a little bit longer, and or vice versa on that, and get out at the right spots every time. All right, so that was not a dip down there on Palantir.
We got an important super chat here.
We do? Okay.
Shaggy937, appreciate the super chat.
Love.
Yeah. My brother and I will be staying in Toronto, Canada, close to the Rogers Centre for the Jays-Reds game on Tuesday. Ellie De La Cruz, that guy's a beast. He'll probably run ramshack over the Blue Jays. Only have the one night. Great bar for food.
Great bar or food. What is that?
No, great bar or food. Sorry, not for food. Or food. I feel like a couple of questions here. Because if you're near the Rogers Centre,
what are you feeling?
You already know what I'm going to say. Because it's a very short walk to if you're into seafood, it's a very short walk to my favorite place in all of Toronto, and that's if you like oysters, if you like clam chowder, if you're into seafood in a general sense, then go to Rodney's. It's not that far from the Rogers Centre. It's a short walk. It's really, it's like a 10-minute walk.
I agree with that.
There's a lot of really good bars. You know what? You know what's really cool to do, especially after the game, is just take a stroll down King. And just get a feel, and if something speaks to you, I like doing that.
To me,
yeah. If I'm with the boys after a game, it's like I don't usually want to pick it. After the game's done, we'll walk down King Street and just wherever, whichever one grabs our feel at that point, and then just check it out. I find that's a great experience. One of my biggest regrets when I went to Chicago for a buddy's bachelor party is the Cubs won the game, and we're out there. We leave. And we're supposed to be going for deep dish pizzas. That was the plan because the guy had an itinerary.
Right.
Whatever. It wasn't. That's not my decision. They had an itinerary what we're supposed to do. We're in Chicago.
Yeah, deep dish is what you're supposed to do, no?
But we left, and it was just a party. Because when you walk out on Wrigley, you're right there on the street. The bars are everywhere. And it was just a party after the Cubs won on a weekend. I'm like, you realize that we need to just stay here, pick a bar, and go.
Right.
And they're like, no, we're supposed to be going for this deep dish pizza. I'm like, I don't care. Just have a feel for the city and walk around. It's so much fun to do. We managed to get the top C, an range-bound day, let it get to the top, sell in front of the high, and maybe we can get a dip buy into 16 on Mars. So we're going to ring the register there and go up to the desk for Adara.
This part of the show is brought to you by Benzinga Pro. If you feel lost in the noise of the market, then you need Benzinga Pro. Benzinga Pro cuts through the clutter and gives you the insights you need to make smarter, faster trades. From real-time news to unusual options activity, we'll show you exactly what's moving the market and why. Don't miss out on your chance to trade like a pro. Visit benzinga.com/pro to start your free trial today.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Adara. Yeah, Benzinga Pro, we have it in our ear. It's a great one. Ryan Faluna's often on our channel, so you can definitely hit up those guys over there.
He'll be on the Aftermarket Show today.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's right. On Fridays. Yeah, good. Yeah. Ryan Faluna. So you missed him the other day. I was with him here with Obi. We talked about a bunch of different stuff. Adara probably will remember what names we talked about. I don't. As we talked about everything. So,
Let's see.
Yeah, probably some crypto he'll probably be interested in. I don't think he trades. Actually, I don't think he trades much.
You know what? He messaged me about what he wanted to talk about tonight.
So, yeah.
There's a small cap name. And what I love about Ryan, like a lot of you traders out there on our program, we don't often trade things like Sing and Lumen.
Siga on our show, for sure.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But there's one that was moving this week that I know for sure a lot of people are interested in. He's going to talk about that tonight. So that's what we love about it. Just Daniel asking if I was buying Disney today for my long term. My plan of action was to actually see where it closed on the weekly chart. So it's looking good, but I wanted to the whole point was to make that decision. Oh, it's held above 89.
90 now.
Yeah, so it's close to the 90 level. I'm not going to pull up the weekly chart because I just sort of said it, and you guys can have a look at it if you want to. But I wanted it closing above this support on the weekly, and then I'll make a decision next week. It's been a downward trend, and I might take a shot at this one, but I want to make that decision Monday or Tuesday. See where it opens up. Because if it gaps underneath and it fails this level Monday morning, I don't want to have bought it here as it's trending to the downside. That's all. And I appreciate the question because I know I've said a couple of times, hey, I'm looking to buy some Disney off this bottom, but I want to see it do a little bit of a curl confirmation for myself. Now, I'm not talking about a day trade, obviously, or here. Like here we day trade. I'm talking about my personal account. Since I got out of Disney a while ago, and I've been looking for a spot to get back into it.
All right. Yeah, I don't. I like Disney. I didn't realize it was back to 90 already, so that's good. Hopefully, it does curl back up a little bit.
Here we go.
There. Broadcom's kind of trying to do something here. AVGO trying to just make a little bit of a move back. If you're looking to fade something, maybe a Broadcom here at 165. It's not that good. I just saw it coming back up here. Breaking through 165 doesn't look that good actually. After all, let's go back over to a name that we know is moving around. or not. Tesla right here, you know, again, kind of just doing this. Look, we're going to be entering the power hour in 5 minutes. What the heck does the power hour even mean? You're going to be entering the last hour of the day here. I don't know how much power there's going to be. This is a very, very slow afternoon from what I can see so far. Trying to find some names, trying to like pick back and forth. I mean, Intel's still at that exact same price, and I haven't even talked about it for 20 minutes. Tesla right now trying to figure it out. If the fact that we're underneath makes me believe that I'd rather go short on this name. So you are getting kind of close to something that might be worth it. But it all is going to depend on what you ever think the market's going to do. And I'd rather have the market make a move and then us react, or I react to this, rather than just say, okay, it's at the top, now I'm going to short, because then where's my stop here? Then it gets up there and I punch myself out. It's like it doesn't make that much sense just to play these little basic levels or I guess short levels right now, because I will probably wind up getting stopped out. So I think we're doing the right thing again. And what we did here, again, sometimes trading is awesome when the market's moving around. Other times you have to have a little bit of discipline and not get into the trades. And this is a good example of what I mean here for Microsoft. So here's the fall in. We're already short right now on Microsoft right into this level. We talked about that. We liked against that 420, but not even really. Just against this high, we're able to pick it out. It's not like it was a magical level or anything. We're just playing off the highs. Then it came back in.
Yes, it is magical level.
It is always magical.
420.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay, but if we were playing, that's a magical level, but that's not. I wasn't going to hold it 50 cents like that. But anyways, it is a magical level. I mean, that's fine. We have other things for weed. We have this guy. Weed.
I was going to say like that.
You know, we have this. We can actually do stuff. You know, like this, and then get the sunglasses on, and then there you go. You get the up in smoke stuff happening there.
If you're
into that stuff. But at the end of the day here, Microsoft, what I was going to get at is that this is the right play, I feel like, when it drips into levels that you believe are worthy of getting out, that you've back tested, and that why they're the reason on your chart. So that's right there. We do take a piece out right there. Does it drip down even lower? Yes, it does. But we're taking a piece out right there. Now, I'm hoping that it breaks. Hoping that this breaks 418.50, and then we'll have a piece on for that downside push. So, all right, did I hear Adara? Let's go.
Really, really sharp volume pop here for FUBO. This one candle here in the 3-minute chart, this is 2.6 million shares plus worth of volume. For context, the next largest candle here, just about 20,000 shares. So very nice volume pop here for FUBO. They do have a 14.3% short float. No news coming in just now to explain this pop, nor is there a lot of social media interest coming in recently. This morning, though, they did have a catalyst launching Fubo Sports Network on their Prime Video channels in Canada. So bit of a sports announcement here for Fubo in the morning. I'll keep looking, see if there's anything new explaining this very large comparative spike here in Fubo volume, guys.
Yeah, not to...
That's good, though. We need volume spikes.
We need volume spikes. I'm just the only thing that concerns me about Fubo is it did this on the 5th and got to like 159 and just immediately reversed that move.
Fubo.
So just be a little bit careful with that one when you zoom it out. And I'm sure it's a good product. I'm a DAZN guy. I like DAZN. Although they jacked their prices, which is weird because they have like twice as many ads now on DAZN, yet they jacked their prices anyway. So I'm paying more and then I'm watching more ads. That's a great business model.
It is.
For them. I mean, it's obviously not good for me, but yeah, it's funny how that works out. I love the places where I'm going to pay more money so that I don't have to watch ads in a logical sense. You just mentioned Google. This still has not broken this quad bottom at VWAP. This is ridiculous. It's a flat bottom break right at VWAP. 1, 2, 3, 4 times here, 163.25. It just keeps holding the line. It's not breaking. Dump it.
Yeah, so I'm just going to look at this right here. I'm going to try to get it. We're at the 200 period now. There isn't too many names that are actually at this 200 period moving average, but the market's starting to go back to the upside here. We don't actually have any longs on, but we're not worried about it. Our Microsoft trade is almost out. We talked about that. So I'm just going to try to play Google a little bit off of this high right here, 86. So if we could break that, I don't want to hold it all the way to 164. If you want to average into this play, then I think what you're wind up doing, anything you're averaging into right now, then you really have to have an opinion that the market will not just drift higher. Because if the market drifts higher, all these names, especially the ones I'm trading here, Mag 7 related names, are going to drift with the market as well. So when I'm looking at Google, the reason why we'll go short this name here is because it is at the 200 period and we just did have this move back. So I feel like we could fall back in a little bit into this level. So we'll go short right now, short 67s on Google. We take a 65 and a 70, giving us a 67 average price. And then here it comes back in. So again, remember, we're going to try to give this probably to 84, 85 on that kind of a break. So a little bit of a push down would be pretty nice. 163.50, maybe first area to get out. So let me put a bid and then get out of that one as we don't have to worry about Intel anymore. Look at Intel right now. Okay, you get stopped. This is what I mean. You get stopped out, then it comes back into 80s. You're like, oh man, I missed out on 5 cents. And then it just goes all the way back up. It's like,
Nothing can stop it. It's all
it's Intel. I was actually saying this when you were talking about it being a meme stock a little bit, that there were some rumors there on Wall Street Bets or whatever. I feel like that's actually pretty good for Intel because I think it just needs to get going. And then once it gets going, then you can look back and be like, oh, wow, man, we had some FOMO here and we missed that $20 level. So I'd like to see it get to like 22 half, something like that, and then get a good news piece where it goes up because it wants to go up.
You know what the problem is, though?
I just think it needs a gas underneath it to begin with.
When it gets to 25, that was such a big level where the only good bounce happened if you were a buyer at 25. So I strongly suspect when it gets to 25, there's going to be a whole heap of people looking to get out of this thing when it gets to that level. Or maybe 25, 26 in there where there was just, like I said, it was the only good place to buy this stock. So I feel like there's a lot of longs that it doubled up from that level. So when people get a double up, they hold on to it because they usually feel like they've got some free money that they have on the stock. I've done it before. Heck, I own Moderna for free right now after the last play. And technically speaking, the original long is out of the money, but that's how you generally feel about it. But when it comes back and it's a bad trend, comes back into that level, bag holders galore, usually. Okay, so we were wrong about Mara being range-bound. Mara is actually breaking out the highs here, while Bitcoin is still not doing anything except grinding toward this top. The high here, it's like 59 change, or close to, it's not 60,000, it's close to 60,000. On IBIT, it's 34. Like 33.98 or 34. That's the top, and it's not breaking it. I felt you're not breaking that high. Mara wasn't going to break this double top. Well, it's through the double top now, so it could just be squeezing, and there's a big gap fill here. We take 60,000 this afternoon. This could really go. Trying not to think mean reversion on this, but maybe a pullback into the previous high. But if 34 goes, Mara could be the party. I just want to quickly look over at Coinbase. Coinbase broke 205, failed it, and is now going back above 205. There's a crypto move happening again this afternoon. It's not the way that it did yesterday.
At 59.5, boom.
Yeah, if we take 60,000, this could be the thing this afternoon. That could get this going, especially if you're looking for a catalyst to get something action bound here. It could just be 50,000. Oh, Rivian just trailed out.
Microsoft's coming down.
So I've been short Rivian the entire time. It just trailed out. Amazon, let me see how Amazon's doing. Amazon's still kind of okay, but Rivian trailed out. Said if it doesn't move, we'll just end up with an average price just around the mid-20s. And if it breaks this consolidation, we'll get out and wait for VWAP. So for the first time since like 11 or 10:30, we're not short Rivian, but that's because it broke its tiny little consolidation of 5 cents, and I want to wait for VWAP next. Wow, what a move in crypto. It's about to take out that high.
I can't believe that Mara.
We're not at 60,000. We're $400 away from 60,000 on Bitcoin. Mara's going, coin still trying to break its high. Feels like that's the way to go. 59.6 is the high on BTC. Ali, you're correct.
Yeah, good look there. Great look on Mara. Next time we'll try to take that as well to that bottom side there. Look, the thing about Microsoft is it's actually coming back in again to the downside here. I honestly, if you guys like this position, I would probably hold on to this. If you're in Microsoft, the market is not even, sure, it's pulling back, but we're nowhere near here, and yet Microsoft is getting ready to break. If this market cracks, and we have Google right now, we're short at 70s, so we just got our last reload. This is not reacting the same way for sure, but Microsoft, for some reason, and again, I can't really even justify why this is happening, other than the fact that, again, it's relatively weak. When you have it's down 0.5%, potentially on a market move, this could move more aggressively to the downside, as a lot of these Mag 7 names. I kind of tired of that now, this Mag 7 stuff. But oh yeah, for us, by us. What's going on with
It's
Fubo
still going
right now, as Neil talks about DAZN. Wow, okay, Fubo.
Oh, this is a double top.
What was
rate.
that? I'm hearing in my ear now, actually, on Benzinga, up 20%. Trying to hear what this report was. Fubo Sports Networks, of course, that's what it was. On Prime, I mean, that's the thing is that, I mean, we heard what Darryl was saying, just saying it again. I always feel like whenever you get a story about Amazon or anything like that, whether or not we had the Rivian story today with Amazon, and then with their trucks, and now whenever you're going to launch on a different network, we have Roku and stuff like that. Those streaming, I'm sure Fubo's on there, but now you can get on to Amazon Prime. I think that's a very, very good catalyst for Fubo, not only because you're on Amazon Prime, which is more exposure, but what are those Fire Sticks?
I got one.
Yeah, that they have. So the Fire Sticks
I don't know why
also maybe, and again, I'm just talking out my, there's potentially somewhere where they could come out with automatically downloaded on the Fire Stick or something like that. So I feel like that would be a good catalyst. I'm going to take out here at 62. I was actually waiting for 60s on Google. It just went to 62 and stopped. Then I look over and it's the 200 period. Look, I think we can fall in to this for sure. I am bidding 50s. That would be the best spot for it. But now that we're in the money on this and we're well in the money on Microsoft, I kind of like what we're seeing. So let's see if we get another bid coming through on Google, hopefully to the low side now. And let me just check on Intel. Still doing nothing. So I think we did good by switching over to Google, but let's just wait to see if we can get rewarded with a win here.
Yeah, the market's still in the same range. That Fubo goes right to that August 5th high and it's starting to pull back. So this is when in doubt, zoom out. You can chase the move. Well, anybody, you can do whatever you want. But if you chase a move, just understand sometimes when you get to levels like these, it's going to try to pull back. But now all of a sudden, it's got a level that it can break out. So if Fubo decides that it wants to get out and about above 160, look at 160 on the daily chart. That's not bad. I mean, outside of this little wick in here, that's real up to 175, 180. And it's 160 break clean. The thing about a stock like Fubo is if you're so inclined, you can literally hit 61 and just say, I'm getting out if I see 59 again, and then just see what happens. That's the good thing about a stock like Fubo that you're able to do. And it's power hour right now. This is why we listen to the news. Of course, as I say that, every time I say I like a potential breakout, I've jinxed every single breakout today. I don't even know why I bothered saying it, because now Fubo's not going to break. The same way NVIDIA didn't break 125. It's entirely my fault. Bitcoin's not going to break 60,000.
It will.
That's also my fault.
It will. It will, though.
You think so?
I think so.
Will Bitcoin break 60,000 before 4 o'clock?
Oh.
Well, it has to do it before 4 o'clock.
Okay. $500 straight up.
Again? Hell no. It just said hell no.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty aggressive hell no there. I mean, our AAPL uses the word hell? That's crazy. Okay. All right.
I'm not the one that made it. Thanks, Mr. Westermeyer.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you.
It's a lot of fun for sure. We are having good fun with it. We do take a bid on Google right now. Now Google's 15 cents in the money. I gotta get on a better bit stamp. I'm using Binance. You're using TradingView. I'm just gonna
TradingView's
switch over to that.
fine.
It seems like it's very, very solid right there. Let's go right now on Google. I'm only going to hit that because it is putting some money into our pocket right now. I don't necessarily think that this is, like, we just got 60s there. I don't necessarily think that this is like a home run kind of a trade happening here, but it's always nice when it works out. We are bidding here 55s to get out of another piece, and then we'll hold the rest as this is working out, baby. This is what trading is about. We talk about this. You put on a position, you talk about it, you try to get a good feel for the position, and then, if it hits, and have your plan of action. So we'll take out that 15% right now at this level, because it's kind of fine by me if it takes 13 cents on this trade. And now we'll wait to see if we can get that pullback as we're bidding 55s. So that's exactly where we want to be at the 50-period moving average. It helped us on Microsoft when we got that trade in right here, right there. Now we're underneath again. So let's just see if it wants to work, man. I mean, I'm here for it. It's Microsoft and it's Google, both starting to head to the downside, as once again, there it is, man. We did it again there. We called the market just to say, you know what? If you wanted to short something, you got to wait. You got to be patient until it gets to these levels. Google did that. We're putting in our pocket. Whether or not it works or not, it is for right now. So the profits are there if you want them. It's been a fun day so far here today. Let's see if we can get even a little bit better with, hopefully, Neil, You're short, so let's go.
That's what
Hopefully
I'm
we'll
thinking.
short for a downside move.
And I hate to say it, but I'm looking for another short there. I like that Google.
both ways.
Google's got a flat bottom break in there. So it's one of those, do you add when it breaks the flat bottom?
It's not going to get that low.
Because I actually want the short when it breaks the flat bottom, but Nike just did, and I was looking at the wrong one. I want Nike to hold the 83 level for obvious reasons, because that ish would be fun next week. Look at the gap on Nike above 83. So if you like trading, then you should be rooting for Nike to hold $83 and just try to fill in some of that gap. Like, it's an opportunity in there, and if it fails this level, then you could be headed right back down. So want it to go up, but right now you just failed a triple bottom, or sort of, in the afternoon, I guess. So we'll short into VWAP, which I'm doing the exact same thing in Amazon. We'll see if we can get on the offer here. Not see, I will just do. Get on the offer in front of VWAP. Give it just a hair above. I don't like having stops exactly at VWAP. Either give it a little bit beneath or a little bit above. I think that's, and I think it was Brian Shannon who said the same thing.
Yeah.
Do not use VWAP for an actual stop level.
Right.
Oftentimes you're so very likely to get the worst possible execution and decision made if you put it right on that line. A lot of times give it a little bit above, or just get out before it gets there. Get out before it gets there, or give it to a little bit above. And you can see we both do that with our trades. I know a lot of people do. I think that makes sense. So we're starting to head back into the downside.
Who would have thought that?
I'm not going to show you Fubo because I put the stop and it has not broken the high. 160, it double topped and pulled back in.
You tell me, Brankles. Brankles is like, where's everybody? I don't know. I'm making more money now than I was in the morning, so we're really happy with that. And that's why I say that, look, I think you got to take vacation. You know, I mean, traders taking a break right now. Shout out to my guy Josh over there. This guy's just straight chilling over there. I like that move as we wait for something to happen. And I don't think there's anything wrong with waiting for something to happen. I can't see anything when these are wrong because they're polarized. They don't even work against. Like, am I still in position? But here we go. Google right now. Yeah, we are feeling ourselves right now because there it is, man. Well discussed, well described, and there it is. Like, this is. I'm hoping why you guys are tuning in, so you could get trade ideas for free. For free. Did I say for free? But there it is right there. I mean, we just take it right there, back, forth. That's a trade. Like, if you're at real trading or prop trading, again, we talked about this yesterday when we were talking with some people at the event, and they're just like, wow, you know, you make a lot of executions. I'm like, yeah, probably too many. But at the end of the day, this is a trade idea that we broke down for you. We liked Google up here. I don't know. There's the trade. There's the trade. And yeah, that's what's going on. So right now we are out of 40% of this trade. I am bidding 43s again just to get a piece out as we come into this level. And then if we can get it, I mean, Neil said, do we break the bottom or do we add if we broke the bottom? I was like, it's not getting that low. And then all of a sudden it kind of getting that low right now into 1625 would be sort of that break level. It's actually 28s, but I'd like to see it for sure take VWAP if we're able to get that to the downside first. And that's the first break. So 163.20. I am now sitting at 40s here. And then let's put another bid at 30s. And then if we get lower, then, hey, man, you guys can send in the super chats for that. But there it goes, a nice little move, just joking. A nice little move to the downside here for that. Microsoft, 75 cents in the money. This is one that I am going to put a bid right here on if we can get it right there. 1475. Let's put a bid there. I was bidding for 1855, but it doesn't look like Microsoft wants to play nice with the short right now. So I'm going to put a bid there around 80, see if we get that fill, and then just start to piece out of this one and really let our afternoon be what it is right now. As honestly, Google, we actually took on a decent amount of shares there, so this is actually starting to actually mean something. So we'll take another piece out, and here we go. Let's see if there it is. There's our 43s. Bang for that one, for that idea as well. Nice move in there for Google. I hope you guys are all enjoying the show.
Nando says boom, boom in the chat. I like it.
Yes.
We don't have a boom. We have a bang button. We don't have a boom button because that's how we roll around here. Love that action to the downside there. Maybe we get the flat bottom break. I don't have an order in there because that bounced so high. But as we get closer, I still think anything that's breaking down is going to be an opportunity because we're holding that whole thesis of, hey, we've been up so much. Let's look for something of profit taking. So this is what I meant by a flat bottom break. It's VWAP multiple times. Nike just did it. where it broke kind of a triple bottom, so I'm short underneath VWAP there. Kind of misplaced my stop order. You know when you put a price with the wrong number? It's like, oh, it's already at that price. Punch in, punch out. So I just had to jump right back in essentially at the same price. That's not me trying to take 0 cents, but the amount of times that I've done that, I love the fact that we can put a stop order before we get into position, but if I say, hey, I want to stop out if it gets above 83.50, and I accidentally type 82.50, and I leave that order in there, I get short, and it says, hey, that's above that price, let's get out. So you had to jump in back at the same price. Amazon short, Nike short. We'll see what happens with that Fubo, but as I said, I was the jinx. It double tapped 160, and now it's starting to pull back. So no breakout on Fubo TV, unfortunately. And you guys can blame me for that one because I feel cursed. Every time I've gotten at least a little bit hyped about a breakout trade today, I don't think a single one is triggered. I don't think I've taken a single breakout long that I put the order in for today. Not one, which is weird because it's been such a bullish week.
This afternoon has been a bearish afternoon for us, and I agree with Neil. I mean, I don't have any breakouts. I don't think so today.
Not one.
Not one yet. I mean, Alibaba was a good one. That kind of broke out off the open, but it did give us a dip buy opportunity to get that long. But there was like, this could have been 82 breakout. It wasn't, but it's just because it came back in.
You know what it was?
Got lucky.
It's a New York stock. It broke it without actually opening. So like,
here's the opening print though.
See, but I have the opening print up at 82.17.
Yeah,
up in here.
Right. That's why you had to.
You had to buy the dip.
You had to buy that dip. So that's kind of like a breakout trade that may or may not have worked for you if you had it. But anyways, there it goes. Nice move there for Alibaba. A good trade, and it's trying to hover around right now. Actually, to the downside, Alibaba's still up 5%. Wow, 83 and change.
That was a beast today.
Looking good for Alibaba. I was just going to start tweeting this stuff out, man, because this Microsoft trade to the downside has been working out. Oh, yeah, by the way, we just got that fill. And this is what I mean. Like, I say for free, and I say it again, for free and stuff like that. But the thing about it is like, this trade here, you know, we put our bid there and just sat there and got hit on the bid. So it's like, these are trades that we're explaining, putting them out, and then just getting hit. So hopefully if you guys have pending bids, or offers, then that could be something that you want to look for yourself, is just actually sitting there and posting bids and offers, because sometimes those will just fill us. It's not like me like actively punching in or out of the stock. It's just sitting there and getting that fill. So we actually talked about bidding 80s, and that's exactly what we did, and there's the fill. So it comes in right there, fills us at 80, and now we kind of don't have to worry about it. As we're getting a little bit lighter now, it's 3:17 in the afternoon. So we'll have to be patient again and wait for these moves to happen. We've already really done well on Google. A pretty simple discussed trade here, up and down. Let's look for some more opportunities, and we'll be tweeting these out. SOX L maybe. What about NVIDIA? NVIDIA is going to be my P&L number 1 today, so we should not ignore it. But it actually just broke through the 200 period. So that's something to look at for sure, I feel like. I already said this. I'd rather be short 124.75.
We're going down again.
On BTC?
You know what's interesting? No.
Bitcoin's at 50. By the way, I said
the market's coming down because every time Bitcoin makes another high, this is like yesterday. When Bitcoin was going down, the market was bouncing. I was like, this is weird. But it's the reverse again. Bitcoin's going to take, it looks like it wants this 60,000. IBIT just broke that 34 level. It's through the top and everything else is pulling back. The only thing that's giving me a bit of cause for concern is I pulled up Mara, and if Bitcoin fails this recent high, like this is a steep upward trend that just broke and is hanging out underneath on Mara. So if Bitcoin were to fail this high, that's what would concern me if you're chasing Mara thinking, hey, that's going to make another fresh top. Usually that would be a short entry, but this is kind of a strong stock, so I'm not necessarily wanting to jump over to it. And as long as Bitcoin's holding, it might, it's trying to, it might actually not. But I'm in a Nike. My first bid is in here, where there was higher low trend support at 83.20s. And then I'm looking for this area right down here. It's like 82.90 to 83 even. Nike was along this morning. This is the afternoon where things are a little bit different, at least temporarily speaking. So IBIT and Bitcoin, they're trying to hold this 59.6 level. I don't know if they can. If we lose it, I might look to jump into Mara in this consolidation. I don't have to give it to the high. I can respect that trend, which I didn't hit save, so it's not there anymore, and just get out if it breaks 16. Like 41 in here in this tight consolidation. So my eyeballs are on if Bitcoin gets back underneath that 59.6, which on IBIT's like $34.
So good question there from JCB Sports. As we'll talk about digital gold with Bitcoin. We'll talk about real gold now, physical gold with GLD. So yeah, it's breaking out, man. I mean, this is obviously its all-time highs. We've talked about that a couple times with the various guests that we've had on the show. You asked about should you hold it over the weekend. I would. I mean, to me, this would be an easy answer. I don't think gold moves enough to have to worry about it. I really think that you're going to have a nice push. Why do people buy gold? I think a lot of people buy gold because they're thinking, hey, look, maybe as a hedge against whatever they think is happening with the U.S. dollar. We had that yen carry trade falling apart, which already has happened. So I just feel that, hey, maybe there's some contagion spillover on that. You might want to hold on to some gold. And I mean, nothing wrong with pairing it off if you're long from the 50 period or anything like that. But again, think about it. We haven't really had any turmoil yet. I mean, there's turmoil in this world, but it could elevate itself very, very quickly. And gold would be something that you'd want to hold. I think gold and oil. I think XLE, I feel like, is another good hold. And again, I'm biased to this. This is one of my holdings in the energy sector, and I really, really like the XLE here coming through. So that's something to talk about.
Pays a good dividend.
Yeah, it's a good one there. A lot of these oil names are pretty good. XOM, Chevron. You want to get something in that space, and then Occidental has actually been dropping down.
It's not been nice on.
Yeah,
Oxy.
it didn't hold anything. Boeing and Lockheed Martin in some kind of a talk about launching into space. Boeing's had a lot. Wasn't there astronauts stuck in space on a Boeing?
They resolved it. So yeah, they resolved. There was an issue with they did a launch.
They did resolve it. Thank God.
They were
okay,
able
good.
to resolve it.
But anyways, Boeing's on a nice move, man. Right back to the 50-period moving average. This is a great stock.
Oh, Boeing.
I want to buy more of this stock on any dips as well. I know there's. I mean, imagine all the crap and all the problems they've had. And, it's kind of fine.
There's only two lines you can go in.
It's like, what are you going to do? Right. It's like, what are you going to do? And so, yeah, I kind of like them there.
It's not to talk politics or anything, but it's kind of like politics in almost every single place. Like you've got to pick one or the other.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there's always going to be support for both. That's just how it is with the airline. So we can crap on Boeing all we want, and historically speaking, it is always traded, well, not always, not anymore. It used to always trade at a premium. During the good times, it usually trades at a premium to Airbus. So that's why everyone gets excited when it starts to bounce, because if it does even half that again, it could be great. I didn't catch a story on the AMC, but it just broke $5 to the downside and a little bit of volume in here. So I don't know. I heard something AMC, but we had Michael Noss this morning talking about this. Like, this is the 200-period moving average, which AMC has been just riding this whole time and can't get. It's almost comical, like how it's riding the 200-period like this.
They are
for $5
still stuck
stock.
in space. People are saying.
What they are?
That's what people are saying.
I thought they resolved that.
remember
For the love of God,
they
Brian.
did not
I
resolve
swear they resolved that. But
maybe it was a CrowdStrike software update that let them stay in space there. CrowdStrike.
I complain too much about Boeing. It's not like I have that many shares in it.
You remember what Michael said about AMC?
No, he basically was saying fade off the 200-period moving average, which is a weird thing to say for a squeeze stock, because usually, why would it be respecting it this much? But look at the resistance. I think that's what he was saying, was riding this and look for fades when it tries to break. But my point to the whole it's tanking on volume would be it has yet to even break the week's range. The week's range bottom is like 495, 496. If it loses 495, then you have a bit of a gap fill. So I'm keeping an eye on it. It is moving a little bit here. And I didn't catch a news story. I think they just said volume spike on AMC. I don't think there was actually anything happening on AMC. So we waited for VWAP, early entry, bad entry, get out. Wait for it to pop into VWAP on Amazon. And now it seems like it might want to break out this bottom. It's 325. We got 5 minutes to the early look imbalances. We got 25 minutes until the actual imbalances come out here for the market to end the week. Wouldn't surprise me if we saw some sells, especially the way the week has gone. The last 2 weeks have gone this week. This week, we're only up 5% in the market. Last week was even more, well, if you count it from the bottom. That's the problem. No one ever counts it from the open. They always count it from the previous close, which tends to discount things like last week, how strong the real move was. Because if you're sitting there on Monday, 2 weeks ago, you didn't care about where we closed from. You were just looking at the gain from the bottom, and that told the entire story.
No gain from bottoms today, man. I mean, today it's been really, really like, if you got it early, that was the best price you could have got, basically right off the open. And then we sort of bumped up, and now we've just been hovering. I am waiting for this break. I mean, this is the break here. Break lower right there. 19. I mean, this is 19,590 with those tops there and this top there. But it's going to have to break. If we don't break anything, then the market is not broken, and it will just stay here all day and give us no more trades. But I'm hoping for that break, which is why we're trying to rest on what we have left, and that is Google. And we did already take a piece out right there. Oops, that's DraftKings. Oh, good. We can talk about that in a minute. There's Google. We took another piece at 40s, and now it's coming back in. I have a bid at 33 in case we get into this level, and then hopefully that move will extend it to the downside. Let's have a look at DraftKings. That we're flat on DraftKings today. What am I even doing? All right. Short, and then out. Look where we got stopped out again. We'll slap a fail on it, but the fact that we're not up or down anything on it basically means I guess it's a fail, paying some fees. But good short early off DraftKings. I guess we tried it again, gave it that 10 cents as it breaks through $34. No good on that trade. But here's the pushback again. And this is why it's here. It's down into VWAP again. Look at the VWAP hold. Forget about the open. I mean, it wasn't doing that much. We even didn't think it was doing that much here. But at the end of the day, it held VWAP there, and it's trying to do it again. So maybe this name could be one if you're looking for some strength right here. I'm short and looking for lower. But DraftKings right now, this is not a horrible setup. As you can see, it's kind of just hovering around, building a base, and possibly an upside move coming through now. Oh, we just got that. Oh, yes, we just got that. Oh, yeah. It's always nice when you sort of see some things flickering. And look at this Google trade right there. That's a...
Oh, my God.
I didn't think we'd get there, and we did. So there it goes, man. That's what it's all about. 3 averages in. We got a full position, but it was more of like a not super convinced full position there. We would have definitely told you if we really, really loved it. It was just coming into this level. We kind of cherry picked it. We were going to give ourselves about 10 or 15 cents worth of risk. And our average price was, we took a 65, a 70, and a 75. That's what these 3 fills are. So average price of 70, so it's 30 cents in the money. It's not huge or anything like that, but well worth it. Nice little drip down there for that. And this is about to go $1, hopefully. Look at Microsoft again, comes right into 70 and stops. Let's just wait for that bleed at this point. It's kind of just starting to bug me and nothing's really happening. So let's just sit back here. It's 3:30 and try to get a little more patience.
All right, before this happens, 160 is coming in again. I'm not jinxing it, but Fubo wants to break it. CompuCare, you want to show what we've got on? No questions. You have a blessed weekend as well, CompuCare. Amazon to start it off. I thought Amazon was a long today. So Amazon off VWAP long twice. We're able to first time capture a couple bucks. We get like $1, maybe like 75 cents on the last. And then I did a move on Amazon that I don't usually, which is when I have this trend, I'm like, okay, we're long off VWAP. Instead of trying to go and hold into that high, I'm like, if it's got this trend line on the VWAP bounce, I'm going to take the long on the trend, add back in, right? So it's essentially like averaging in. But if I was going to trail out here underneath that trend line, I decided I would add to it if I'm stopping out there regardless on the position. So I've done that a couple of times. It's something I've been kind of working around with to maybe hold on to things better, which is if it's observing a trend line, just allow yourself to dip by that and add to the position. Fubo just broke 160. So here, I'll quickly show you Fubo. This is going to be very binary. I'm short right now on VWAP on Amazon. That's working. It's been a good stock today. Fubo just broke 160. I'm not giving this much of a berth. It's 3:30. I feel like if it even ticks underneath, I'm just going to jump out of it. I think there's room to about $1.70 to $1.75. So like every 5 pennies is going to be worth it. I'm just going to sit on the offer every 5 pennies and just keep it relatively simple, or in front of like 65, in front of 70. So if it breaks 60, I'm just going to get out, risk a couple of pennies on this to see if it can get to 170 or 175. As Fubo is running to the upside, they got like a sports TV deal. That is the news. The other thing I trade, going alphabetical if you want. Astis, I was ASTS. Sharif has me saying that because all week long he was calling ASTS Astis. So I've been doing it. I apologize. I don't usually make up fun names for stocks like that. And then end up saying ass all the time. So I was trading at ASTS, underneath 30. Every 30 break on the way down. 30 to 29.5, get out. 30 to 29.25, get out. 30 to 29.50, and then I trailed out of that one at 29.26. So it ended up being a bunch of scalp trading. I could have maybe held for the low there, but I was really thinking we'd get down to 26 bucks on the last of that trade. It was a good one. Google, I've shown you guys many times, literally going alphabetically here. Google, one trade. I had one idea for Alphabet today. It was $165 short. So I shorted it once off that price into VWAP, and that's been it. Now it wants to flat bottom break here, which is 163.25. So, I mean, I can do the rest, but I'll just skip like 5 or 6 other winning trades and show you the one that stunk today, which was Micron at 107. So Micron early in the day, I like the 107 level previous close for some weakness. It wicked it, took the short on the way back in, put it to the local high, and lost on Micron. Did not bother doing anything with it. Never set up at that price again for a short. Actually, you ended up being a long at that price if you looked at it on the dip. So I think that's the way you want to do it. And then just to go over to Fubo here, sometimes I'd give this more room if it was earlier in the day, but I'm really not feeling it. I said before, if it broke it the first time through, I think I'd give it more of a chance, but it's 3:30. This is not it breaking at 3 o'clock. So I only gave it the 2 cents. Got the fill right there at 61 to 59. It actually went a couple of pennies in the money, but you saw me offering 64 and 69 to try and catch it on the upside there. So Fubo, we'll get out of that one and hunt for the next available trade. So we're still in Amazon and Nike to the short side. It's been a productive morning, and we can find out what sectors we have missed out on with Adara at the big.
On a day where we've seen quite a bit of waffling here in both the Nasdaq and the S&P 500, slightly positive or slightly negative on the day, we do have a few names making some outsized moves with catalysts, so let's get into it here. Starting with Ulta Beauty, this one's still 3%, though it is down from its day's high. Day 2 move with Berkshire Hathaway adding 690,000 shares of ULTA to its portfolio over the course of Q2 as revealed through its 13F filing. So ULTA, nice continuation move here. Next up, we have Tapestry, TPR. This one here to the upside. Day 1 of earnings, they reported yesterday after the close. They beat earnings per share and sales estimates, though they did have slightly weaker than expected revenue and EPS guidance for fiscal 2025. So TPR still slightly up on the day here. Last but not least, Chipotle, CMG. This is another one that had a bit of a 13F move. Yesterday, we did actually have a bit of a position sale coming in from Pershing Square for CMG. So that's certainly worth noting. Offloaded about 23% of their position. Traded higher yesterday. But in what's been a very eventful week for Chipotle, currently heading to the downside, guys.
I was
a little bit of an eventful week for Chipotle, I'll say.
Chipotle's and for Starbucks and for a lot of those names. Big weeks here. It's so cute. I sent my daughter a picture of the lineup tonight and all the positions she's playing. She's playing today catcher, catcher, first, third, first, third. So that's her for the 6-inning game. And she says, messages me, "Hi, Dad, if you're changing the lineup, I'm just going to ask if I can please play shortstop 1 inning." My answer is very simple to that.
Yes.
Whatever you want. That was easy. And then she says, "Thank you." And then I say, "It's looking like rain," with an
Boo.
And then she's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I know." And I said, "I'm mad at that." She goes, she is too. Then she slips in here, "I'd also like to catch 1 more inning as well." So now we're getting a little greedy on that one, but we will see. What she doesn't know is that the team after us may need a call-up, and she's number 1 on the call-up list.
So she can play 2.
Because they request her. So hopefully she can play 2, and that's the bigger league. That's the 13 and 14-year-old.
That's the best experience when you get to
so she's played with them once and she really loved it. So yeah, playing call up is pretty sweet. Okay, so here we go. Let's just go again. Spin it one more time for Google, man. I mean, again, just pretty. Often we talk about being proud of families and all that kind of stuff, and I think that's obviously the most important. But I'm pretty happy with this trade. And I mean, I was just looking at Google here. It's a huge push down. It's really just fallen in right to where we thought we could get it. It's a nice move back in there for Google, coming into VWAP again. And that right there, come on, that is a siren kind of a trade right there. I mean, it's working out almost perfectly. Well, no, not almost perfectly. It's working out perfectly. The only thing is that we could have, I guess, held out a little bit on this one. Remember, when we were talking about 15 cents and I saw the market doing this, I didn't realize that Google would fall down. The market, I think we've nailed it. It hasn't been doing anything. And that's kind of what we said here this afternoon. Was not expecting that much. would want to fade bumps and watch out for this break lower. Break lower, obviously not happening. So let's wait to see now if Google will retrace even further than that. But now we only have about 15% left as we get into the imbalances. And here's what the imbalances are all about right now. I hope everyone is going to have a great weekend. And I also said, oh no, as well, because I got to weather, listen to this. So this weekend, my brother-in-law is coming down on the road now, going to probably be at my house trying to come to the game tonight to see his niece. I just got another text about how mad my daughter is because she just looked at the Weather Network. So I just got this come in. Time sensitive, special weather statement. Significant rainfall is expected this weekend. Oh, I didn't, so my brother-in-law is coming over to go golfing. All right, hold on a second here. Significant weather, rainfall is expected this weekend. Local rainfall amounts 30 to 60 millimeters. It's quite large, actually. Rainfall is expected to get to 40 millimeters in 1 hour from now. That's not good. Beginning this evening. So the 40 millimeters coming this evening, followed by 20 more over the weekend. Thanks, Fabian, for that. Oh, what? Yeah, not looking great there. Toronto right in the middle. I don't know if you guys can see that there, but I could point to it. But Fabian showing us that. Well, I like that little. There it is. Yeah, not great. Not great at all. Are those little thunder strikes as well that are happening? And lightning. That's pretty hype. That's really, really hype. So, yeah, it will be. Oh, the good thing about my brother-in-law coming through is that also we're going to be going to, if possible, and I said this to Marissa already, probably too late. There's a lot of indoor golfing places that have just popped up around the GTA. So a few that I've actually wanted to check out where you can play against the, what am I looking for? No, the indoor golf, the simulators. Oh. The golf simulators. So a lot of those have popped up where you can actually have a decent time. And my son loves golfing as well, so maybe we'll all go as a family. But right now, you can see here, it's kind of a buy side. Everything's bid. I mean, Dow Chemicals, there's a sell coming in. I mean, we still have 15 minutes before we get to look at the Nasdaq. And if anybody has an early look on the Nasdaq, maybe hook us up on that. But right now, these are all New York names. So the only sells we have is AIG right there, which, okay, probably not a big deal, but maybe. You can see that's already pulling back down here. I don't know what Hondu is. Oh, this might be a buyout. Actually, that
sounds like it should be like a bad guy in a.
This is like
like a fighting game, like Street Fighter or something.
Yeah, Honda.
I know, but Hondu.
Yeah, Honda.
You know what's weird? That DNA on the top.
I think is a bad guy.
He is a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always. It's always interesting that like these guys are in like a big fighting competition and where it's just like a big MMA tournament. There needs to be like good guys and bad guys.
Bad guys. Yeah, with the movie too, the Jean-Claude Van Damme one, Bloodsport.
Well,
that was a good movie. If there's not crazy swearing in that, I actually want to watch it with my kids. Like, there's that monkey man guy that jumps around.
Is there that much swearing?
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure we watched it. I don't know when Bloodsport.
I'm pretty sure most Van Damme movies, specifically Van Damme, you can get away with, because I watched them all when I was a kid. I think that his were pretty clean. If memory serves.
1988.
Yeah, like back then, a lot of those. It was weird. Like a lot of the fighting movies used to be really clean. It was just a bunch of violence in it. That's
all right. Bloodsport is a 1980. What if I click on? Ooh, this is okay. Maybe I don't know if we can show anything on YouTube here. I was just hoping to see if there was. So I didn't push play, so you don't have to worry about it.
But it's a YouTube video.
This guy is nuts, man. The main guy, like how he gets all jacked up about everything. Yeah.
He makes the movie. What's his name again?
I can go into IMDb here.
Something Bolo.
All right. Boxer Jackson. What is this? Famous quotes? I have no idea what I'm doing here. Again, we'll
Bolo Young. That's the actor.
We'll find it out.
I think he passed away.
Alien. Bloodsport quotes. All right, I'm all disgusted.
I'm excited for Alien Romulus.
Rating. All right, popularity. It's a 6.8 on IMDb right here. Where can I find out if there's? Ramin was telling me there's a website, and my wife actually knows you can type in the movie
where you can watch it,
and then it will. No, not where you can watch it. Actually, I don't even know if this is being streamed or not.
I think it's on Prime.
There is a website that will go in there and you could actually put it in for kids and it will tell you like sort of some of the warning spots there on some of the movies. So, but I'm going to message that. My wife's not going to want to. She might, I don't know. She might.
It's free on Prime, but it doesn't tell me if it's rated R.
And
like you would think if I literally have it up on Prime right now and it doesn't say.
I mean, Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon. There's so many there's so many good names like that. Yeah,
Big Trouble in Little China.
I mean, Jackie Chan is, those are, actually my kids could watch those movies.
Or like Rumble, yeah.
Yeah, like Rumble in the Jungle,
Drunken
whatever those
Master.
ones are called. Things
The
like
single greatest kung fu movie or fighting movie of all time, if you're old school and legit, is the 5 Deadly Venoms.
Right. That was
That
the
is
other one.
that sucker. It's old as all you know
Very
what.
old.
The dubbing is terrible, like it should be, and that movie is just absolutely legit. Break lower. Let's go. So we're right on the afternoon, like where I took the short originally on that one, and wait for VWAP. Where the bottom was here on Amazon. Just looking for it to break. We're right at 19.6. It looks like it wants to break into the downside. I was going to say something about that DNA stock. This 1.2 million buy-in balance on DNA, it's a penny stock, and it's like all on the bid, like right here. So there was that 1.25 million was all here on the bid of this thing at 22 cents for 1.25 million shares. It's now 900,000. They've been chewing away at it. So all of it is there on EdgeX, despite the fact that it's an early look imbalance on. It's just a penny stock. That's not even that many shares notionally, right? Well, okay, fine. Like $1 million is a lot of money, but 1.2 million shares on a 22-cent stock. Like that's a few $100,000. Almost every single like accounts on a day trading floor can soak that up. So if it wants to go through that imbalance, 1.2 million matters on like NVIDIA or something. It doesn't matter on DNA. So another bounce incoming off of this 19.6 and off of some of these lows. I don't think I want to reload VWAP this close to 350, so we're not going to do it. And the same thing goes with Nike. Nike, never mind, I already got filled. So I already got filled on Nike. I guess I had this one out still. I was about to go ahead and cancel it as a market bounce. And then we get filled at 40. This is at VWAP as we speak. If we break it out, I'm just going to jump out of this one. For now, it's still working. Odyssey Fights, Big Trouble Little China is a good one. Everyone has their own preference. That's the best thing about movies and everything about art is like, most people will generally agree on the classics, but you always have that thing that you love the most. And I watched 5 Deadly Venoms with my cousin, the guy, Thug Jeff, when I was like, I feel like I was 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old, and it was the first kung fu movie I ever saw. I still had the DVD at home of that thing, and I watched it at least once a year.
There was DVDs back then.
No, I bought the DVD when I got older and DVDs were a thing. They're not anymore.
Our kids don't even know what a DVD is.
No, they don't.
They don't. And for us, it was like the greatest new technology ever.
I have so many. It's
stupid Betamax.
It's embarrassing how many DVDs I have.
There's no way they know.
Seriously embarrassing.
I'm going to say that my kids have maybe never even touched a CD before. Oh, no, well, you know what, actually? That's a lie, because when the markets were small, I remember definitely they had the in the back car in the
for
sure CDs were being definitely. I take that back. They definitely
in the back of the van.
Yeah. I would say I take that back. I think they know what that is because we used to have to play those DVDs and CDs, and they would carry them everywhere.
But then my daughter doesn't know what a CD is.
And then iPads came, and then
although she sees mine in the basement, she's like, "What are these things?" And I tell them what they have music on them. She's like, "Well, why don't you ever listen to them?" I'm like, "Because if I want to listen to something, I just say, hey Google, play me thing on Spotify,' and it does." Well, if I activated that for people, my bad. I know you're not supposed to say that, but no. Fabian just said, imagine rewinding a VHS tape. How about
what is VHS?
How about recording stuff off the radio on a cassette tape? Because that's how I rolled back in the day.
Recording it off the TV. Like holding it up to the TV.
Yo, that was...
Yeah. Fabian, you have no idea, okay, bro? I'm all about LimeWire. You know LimeWire? Okay, you know. Yeah, okay. You know about pirating? I never said anything about pirating. Okay.
That's just all these illegal people out here doing things like that, pirating and utter nonsense that clearly I would never do because I'm an upstanding citizen. And I also understand the fact that like there's always ears listening. We're live on YouTube.
Napster.
So I try to keep it real around here. I'm just saying.
The only pirate I do is One Piece. You guys watch One Piece? That's a... There we go. All right.
After you said that, I watched the trailer for it.
Monkey Luffy.
I'm like, I don't know.
Monkey.
I'm not watching that.
Right? Yeah, okay, good one. Monkey D. Luffy. Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's shout out to my kid there. He's loving that stuff. All right, here we go. Google again. So I don't know if you noticed, but what was going on? What was that?
I don't know.
Oh, Dare's coming to bring a drink? There you go. Josh is on the air.
You're drinking 2 coffees?
Oh, no.
Oh, very
One
sweet
for
of you.
Fabian. That's nice. All right.
Always got to have more coffee. So a couple of things happening. We're finally breaking 19.6 on the futures. So we're breaking back down. I got that fill, whatever, it happened. I got the fill on Nike. Now we're going to play back into the lows, going to throw a bit at the 20 level in case we get it. Amazon has finally broken the low as well. So the shorts are starting to really come in here. We're accelerating a little bit. I want to zoom out to give you an idea. We're not getting to the low of the day on a lot of these. So higher lows at 176.75 and 176.40 on Amazon will be a couple targets with 5 minutes to go till the imbalances drop. Still kind of feeling like
it's high.
I know it was all buys, but it's a bunch of stocks that don't matter on this New York. So I'm kind of thinking we can still be a sell. JP Morgan's a sell and BAC is a buy. That's oddly opposite for the two banks. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking we can have a bit of a sell imbalance here. So holding into 350 makes a heck of a lot of sense. Let's see what happens there. Aftermarket should be a fun one. We're going to have Ryan Faluna on, talk a little bit about some small caps and when the market moves. So should be good with Adara. She's clearly ready to go. She's got her tea and Fabian's coffee locked and loaded. Although she does this thing where she does tea in coffee.
I know, it's from Ramin.
Oh, Ramin does that.
Right, Adara? Ramin was doing the
but
tea
I keep
with
meaning
the
to try
espresso,
it.
wasn't she? Right, see, there you go.
I keep meaning to try it. And I tell Adara, I'm like, I have a bad memory.
I'm not trying to try
it. So I say to Adara, I'm like, just remind me one morning that I want to try it, and then I'll actually do it, because every morning I just get a regular coffee. So I'll try anything.
Yeah, I think it's worth trying. But
anybody that's...
I had an Earl Grey this morning. It's nice. I like
Earl Grey is a great tea.
Ever since going over to have some proper tea. Okay. Wow. I'm putting a bid out now and covering this bad boy. We are now $1. What's up, everybody? Going to the club tonight. There you go. Admission at least paid by me here. There it goes. Nice move down there for Microsoft. Door entry fee free for all the Dollar Club members today because there it goes right now. Huge move into the downside. And we've just been sitting here all afternoon and just talking about why we thought the market was going to come back in. That's what we talked about. Those are the levels that we're looking for. We have Microsoft, bang. Microsoft goes to basically, whatever. All these names are top P&L names today. I don't have to describe that to you anymore. It should be quite clear. We shorted this one. It's all the way boom in. I'm waiting for a break of VWAP. See you later. And let's see if that gets going down there to the downside again. And the reason why we have a bunch of outs is because we have shares. And it's just like I wasn't sure where we would be getting out. Maybe Microsoft or Google was going to stop right at this level. I'm sure as heck glad that we don't have anything on Microsoft until down here. So I don't have anything left, man. I'm going to be bidding Google at the O's. Hopefully we can get that level to come through. But what an afternoon it's been right here. Even Travolta's like, wait a second, I'm in the wrong business. I should be day trading with these guys right there. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay, John. You can always get into this game as well. Just make sure you're watching Trader TV.
He's not as good at Travolta as you.
No, I do a way better John Travolta than John Travolta.
We have video.
But,
we have evidence.
Forget about Grease Lightning. I think the real dancer around here, you got to get Sharif on the dance floor, and then we'll see what's going on right there. But nice move. My form of dancing is like break dancing, like just getting out there, like spinning on my head and all that stuff. It's pretty hype stuff.
I'm into break dancing too.
Yeah, you are definitely into that.
Nope.
And we'll wait to see there what's going to happen with the end of this market. But again, hit the like, guys. Hit the subscribe.
Let's go.
These trades have been what they've been, and I just hope that you've been enjoying the show and listening to some of the things that we've been saying. And there it goes again there today. So it's just funny. I said that about how it being a ghost town down there. There's literally nobody trading behind us. And I feel like this has been one of the best opportunities. We've hit pretty much our two cleanest and biggest trades, other than Alibaba straight off the jump this morning was fantastic. Apple's been fantastic, and NVIDIA still P&L number one for me today as well with NVIDIA. So this is dripping down right now. I'm just going to hold on to these shorts, see what these imbalances
just
come
see
out.
where
We
they
have
come
2 minutes to go, and then we get the market imbalances, and then off with Neil on the recap show. And hope everyone enjoys themselves this weekend.
Oh, John M, don't do that. The old John M's like Sean equals Ray Gun. Come on.
Where's Ray Gun from? I don't even know.
No, Ray Gun is that Australian breakdancer from the Olympics.
Oh, that girl?
The one that...
Yeah, I saw... What is that? There was something about her cheating.
Cheating?
What was it?
Okay, so here's the thing.
Well, why is breakdancing a metal sport?
It's not going to be in 2028. It's already gone.
Oh,
which would
Here comes
It is
Google.
what, I have nothing against breakdancing. I think
Oh,
it's
neither do I,
amazing,
but I was
so
like,
much
it's
talent.
art, like, I guess
But
a lot of them are art forms. I don't know.
The way I see it, like you want it, like you get to an Olympic sport when there's a bunch of countries doing it and there's a lot of competition. But when there's only like 3 or 4 countries that are going to send people that are really good at it and passionate about it, it's difficult. It's at that point where it's growing. Let the sport get to a point. And more power to her for having fun. I couldn't do half the stuff she did, but I had no idea what the heck she was doing. We were joking around. We have a boy from high
win a
school.
medal or what?
Hell to the no. She was dead. Medal.
I have no idea. I just saw.
Okay, clearly you need to go see this video, man. The only thing nastier than her moves is the drop in alphabet right now. That's, trust me when I'm telling you.
Dance.
Trust.
Look at this. But I mean,
Trust me, it's not. People are laughing at her.
Oh well.
Even though she was having fun and everyone's at a different level and everyone starts somewhere and has a skill level. I'm not trying to harp on it. I'm just saying it's not what you thought of an Olympic competition, even if you don't think it should have been an Olympic sport. That's all. Imbalances.
But why would Australia let this person compete? That's. I
literally have no answer to that question.
Okay, so
all buy and bounces, by the way.
At the end of the day, guys, there it is. It's $1 in the money now is Google. Google is absolutely tank city, man. We're here for you. There it goes. It's $1 in the money on Google. It's $1.30 in the money on Microsoft. Have a great weekend, man. It's a wrap. That's what it is, man. Damage is done right there, live on the air. Bang! There goes Google downside. Peace out. We'll see you later, Google. I mean, I wish we didn't say that. I wish it was ripping to the other side. But for right now, it's a nice move in, and it's just, let's go. I don't know what else to do. Microsoft right there also just filling us on the bid right here. It's been just a very, very good afternoon and a good evening and good night to some of these stocks right now as they start to fall in. I'm going to bid 162.80 and just wrap this thing up. If we get it, we get it. Let's see what happens here now into the close.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Great look on Alphabet there. But oddly enough, I was wrong about where the imbalances would be. It's buys on Intel. And NVIDIA makes sense. 2 million on NVIDIA, 4.5 on Intel. Nothing else matters. That DNA is a penny stock. I don't even know what NI is. Tilray has a sell imbalance of 1.4 million. That could maybe be interesting for Tilray. But the second I saw the first two buy imbalances and kind of thought that might be the whole thing. Immediately got out back through 177. I wasn't going to wait. Just saw 177 back on the bid in Amazon and punched out. Same thing with Nike. But it looks like it was a bit of a nothing burger. But just Intel and NVIDIA with both buy imbalances, 4.5 million and 2 million. I didn't see any other big cap tech names. Tilray's imbalance looks like it's not really affecting things. It did not move. So I saw it there for a sell of 1.4 million. It's under $2. Thought there would be an opportunity there, but it's just NVIDIA and Intel. So let's go over and see what NVIDIA is doing off that. I'd say surprise buy imbalance. I was expecting sells after the week that we've had. Not moving that much.
Yeah, I mean, all the stocks I was in wound up tanking, but I just want to say if you guys are following, just to give you guys some more content here, if you're following on Instagram or on Twitter, go follow all of us right here. Now, I just put it out already. This was an hour ago, well, 33 minutes ago. I think it was longer than that, though. 3:18, I guess that's pretty accurate, where we just started trading the stocks and started talking about going short here and then going short also on Microsoft. And then, as you can see, it will end up looking like that as we get back into the end of the day here. So, yeah, we are bidding right now on Google right here at the bottom. And the bear has not had its cocaine today. I mean, if it had its cocaine today, then we would be way up right now. But
it'd be high.
The cocaine bear is just relaxing right now.
It took a downer.
But this is where it started from and where we're going on Google. So there it is right now. We'll screen cap that and put that out for you. So that's about it. Here's the imbalances one more time. I haven't actually even looked at them. I was just busy talking some nonsense and checking out some hot ray gun action. And here we go now. Intel with that bid, like Neil mentioned, another bid on NVIDIA. It's too bad. I should have actually gone over to this when I heard Neil say this because we had smoked NVIDIA the last couple of days at the end of the day, including dollar clubs. And yesterday was 70 cents on the bid, and it looks like it would have worked again, not to the same extent. But there it is. Those are all the numbers. If any of your stocks are on here, you can quickly screen cap this or pause it and have a quick look to see Marvell with a report next week as well. It's Marvell and NVIDIA next week, guys. No, sorry, not next week, the week after. Yeah, the 28th. I think it's 26th and 28th. So Marvell's right there. There's Google with a sell. This is the other Goog. Again, there's a different class of shares. You could trade either one. Goog is 13.5 million shares. I've always just gone over to the one that's had more volume, which is this Goog L, which is 20 million. So I'm much more familiar with the prices on Goog L. But if you guys are trading the other one for some reason, all good. Not much difference in price at all. So I would just go with the larger volume name in Goog L. But that's it. It's a wrap right now. Microsoft, I'll just wait to see if it bleeds, but we already got that fill down there. It's been a great afternoon here, but Google was really the better one just because of how much it moved to the downside, basically $1 there to end on the imbalances.
Yeah, a big move to the downside for that, but the market actually is going to hold green in that move. See, it's got to be the right one. There's still enough strength. And remember, NVIDIA's above VWAP. NVIDIA had a good day. Tesla was looking okay as well. It's at 217. It's up a couple of points. So, you know, this has been a changing of the, not the changing of the guards, but the Mag 7 don't move together anymore. Tesla looking okay. You know, Meta's having a bit of a rough time, down 1.5%. Let's go to Adara. Only 5 minutes to go here. Imbalance is just paired off, but let's go over to Adara.
Beware here as we end the day. Another story with regards to Boeing, BA. This time we had a chartered 737 that was actually J.D. Vance's campaign plane, apparently forced to make an emergency landing because, according to early reports, there was potentially an issue with the main cabin door. So more 737 issues, this time for Vice presidential nominee here, J.D. Vance, on his chartered 737. Guys, just watch out for BA here.
Come on, JD. Come on. I mean, you know. What's he supposed to do? I don't know. Door breaking or whatever that story there on Boeing. But as you, I mean, I just looked over at. Remember, I was saying like, what else can go bad with Boeing here? I mean, I don't. It's not. It's like the stock's having no reaction.
It was at the high of the day, and we were just talking. So good. It was doing so well. You couldn't end the week without a bad press story for Boeing. It is what it is with that one.
Tough week.
Tough week for Boeing.
No, not a tough week at all.
Oh no, sorry. Tough. Yeah, no, tough year for Boeing. Actually, great week. I think it has a chance to get back up to 195. And staring at the 200-period moving average for this stock, like look at the clear and obvious level at $197 exactly. When do you ever see a level like this that's so clearly support and then clearly resistance? Look at the turn here at 197, and it's a 200-period moving average. Sign me up when this thing breaks out 197. The 200 might not be at that exact price, but it's such an obvious price. I'll zoom it in for you guys so you can see exactly what 197 looks like. Still 10% away. Only 3 minutes to go. We got the aftermarket show. I'm going to be on there with Adara. We've also got Ryan Faluna coming through from Benzinga, so we're going to have a bit of fun in there. No earnings, so we can talk about whatever the heck you guys want to and whatever Ryan wants to. I'm going to crip my way all over to the desk there. Hopefully you guys get to play.
Yeah, I hope.
Hopefully Gia gets to play too.
You don't have any outside. Your daughter's not.
There's
they're done. You said.
Yeah, we're done baseball. But tonight, like someone in our neighborhood is doing a thing where they hired out an ice cream truck. And there's like a neighborhood ice cream event happening. So I'm really hoping it doesn't rain tonight because the kids are all looking forward to it. So whatever, they'll do it anyways. Even as long as it's not really bad rain, I think we should be okay.
You're definitely fine, man. The bad rain doesn't start to come until like 7:30.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be at like, actually I'm going to have to make sure we're prompt and ending the aftermarket show at a reasonable time because I have to make sure I'm there.
Yes,
that starts at like 5:30.
Ended immediately at 4:30.
That's a good point.
Fabian, hit the siren at 4:30, okay, today, and then
he doesn't hit the siren on me. He hits the siren on. He doesn't hit the siren on me.
He sometimes hits it on me. But
he doesn't do it to me.
He has a date though.
I'm just saying.
I don't know if he has one tonight or not. So
it's Friday, of course.
It's Friday, of course he does.
All right, I gotta.
All right, so yeah, see you later. 2 more minutes to go. There will be Neil and Ryan Faluna on the after show, so that should be a jam for sure. And what's been a jam? You know, I like that song, Michael Jackson Jam, I think it was called. It's a good one. Down here, 4:18:45 coming through right now for Microsoft. I don't know. There's only a little bit of time left, so let's just put a bow on that one. And Bo Jackson, I mean, what a great player Bo Jackson was before getting hurt again. One of your first. I mean, there's a few multi-sport athletes before him, but very dominating there. Wasn't it Oklahoma? Oh, no, where was he from? Auburn. That's what it was, Auburn there. I was going to say Charles Barkley. There it is. Nice move down there for 4:18:40. So that's a wrap. Man, that is a wrap. Make sure there's a like and subscribe there. Hit that like and that subscribe and get me an iron for that shirt right there. But make sure you do hit that 20% off Trader TV 20 as well with trade ideas if you want to get some ideas into your game as well. But I mean, Microsoft, a good little wrap there. I want to say thank you to everybody for watching with only a minute left. Look, no matter what you're doing this weekend, spend it with loved ones and be safe. I think that's important. Even if it rains outside, that just gives you an opportunity to put some popcorn in the microwave there, sit down, watch a nice little movie, and get cozy there. And I feel like that would be a fun thing to do. Hopefully the rain can last a little bit for us tonight and we can get that going. And whatever you're doing, again, this weekend, have a good time. But make sure you're back with us on Monday, as it should be a very, very exciting day. I do got to say, on Monday, though, we will be missing somebody for 2 weeks. And I want to say, have a good vacation to the guy behind me there. Brendan will be gone for a couple weeks as he's going on vacay there. So have a good one there, Brendan. It'll be Sharif. Oh, there it is. Oh, no. We do not have the countdown. I was on the wrong page. There we go. It'll be a couple seconds late. That's all right. With only 5 seconds to go here, I got to cancel all my stop orders. And 3, 2, and 1. Jesus. Adara, wow. Okay, that was a big one right there. All right, so thank you so much for that. Again, Brendan will be off for the next couple of weeks. So we say have a good trip to him. And then we say Sharif and Adara will be there. Nothing else changing program-wise. So that should be good. All right, man, it's 4 o'clock. I feel like we had a great week. I feel like it's glad to be back here this week. I know we are on vacation last week over there to London, and we will be back next week for sure. So for everybody here, let's get going. It'll be hopefully a condensed recap. Well, it'll be the normal time. Half-hour recap show with Neil Adara and Ryan Faluna. So from everybody here at Trader TV, have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you back on Monday. Ciao, everybody.
Welcome, everybody. It's been a good one this week. What an unbelievable 2 weeks the market has had. So it should be a blast for everybody. We get to recap some impressive-looking charts. Look, you can make money going either way in the market, but let's be real. Everyone likes it when the market's going up. You're just going to be happier. You can make money going short, but everybody wins when the market's going higher. And it was an absolute banger of a day. Although I did notice pretty much like all of us were wearing some form of, this is more like, I don't know, what would you call this? Is like maroon?
That's a slightly dark maroon. Mine is more of a maroon burgundy.
That's a maroon.
Sean is wearing pink, and then
Sean's
Obi was wearing the matching shirt with Sean, but Sean wasn't matching with him, so
Nobody
that
had
was just
green.
sad. Yeah.
No one had green today, but the market, we kind of are up.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't as impressive as like what we've seen here, Adara. Obviously, it was an unbelievable week, but the Nasdaq and the SPY, like you're barely up on the day. Like the SPY, we're talking 0.2 to the upside. The Qs here end up like 0.1, so barely even green. It was a big week. A lot of the Mag 7 actually didn't even participate. You had Meta pulling off some of those highs. But you know what was absolutely banging were the metals. And Sean pointed this out in the afternoon show. You had, well, I mean, I have GLD up right now. GDX actually led the way. It was GDX with 3% to the upside that led the way. You had GLD up 2.25 as well, breaking out 52-week highs on gold. And for all you silver heads out there, not at the highs, everyone says it's the most manipulated market in the world. A lot of the tinfoil hat people don't like the silver market, but they're up a couple of points today as well. K-Web doing pretty good in there. So Chinese Internet ETF. I wonder why K-Web was up a couple of points today. For the life of me, Adara, was there something that happened this week, or
I mean,
maybe
it might
why
have
there
been
was
JD, it might have been Alibaba, and they might have actually also had crazy day 2 moves and day 1 moves. But also, we have Bilibili, which you guys always know is my favorite stock. Bilibili's reporting next Thursday. So is Baidu. We have Zeekr on Wednesday. We have Xpeng on Tuesday. We've got Li and Neo the week after that. So lots of Chinese ADR earnings on the horizon. I might trade Bilibili just for the novelty of it. We'll see.
Nothing wrong with trading Bilibili. That stock's a mover. And
It moves like crazy, yeah.
if it moves, you trade it. And that's what we always try to say. And here's Alibaba in there. Great day 2 rally for Alibaba after earnings. And they did the old dipsy-do on everybody in Alibaba. If we can come to my chart for a quick little second here. Why is K-Web strong? Because everybody thought that Alibaba was a short off of earnings, and it spent the last 2 days breaking out tops. If we can come to my chart for a second, Fabian. There we go. So broken down on earnings, breakout yesterday, continuation breakout today. And if you think 82 was an obvious break, the best part about this move is I can tell you that both Sean and I missed this break initially at the open. Right there at 8, right there at 9:30, you're breaking out at $82. That wick underneath is real. Right back in exactly to the 82 break. I said this before. Sometimes you might miss a trade. The stock goes without you, and you're like, oh my goodness, you like that price? Then sit on the bid. If you still like it, you might just get picked back up there.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, every now and then, the market gives you a gift. It went 82 to 82 and a half, dipped right back in, and anybody that wanted 82, you got it right back in there,
Nice.
right up to 83, ended up getting into 84 bucks. It was about as clean as it's going to get with Alibaba. So shout out to them, and shout out to K-Web for having a good day here today. Queb. Ooh. Talib Kweli. Underrated, absolutely underrated hip-hop artist. So every time I hear K-Web or we see K-Web on a chart, shout out to the man, Talib Kweli. Absolute legend in the game. Not all good on Sector Watch. I feel like a lot of times we've come in, it's like everything is up today. Boring, boring, boring. Market's up. This is up. That's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit more interesting today because natural gas got USO down. TAN was down. Not that that's any different from what it's usually doing. These bad boys, you know what? The bad boys are good. Like the bad boys, the Pistons, they won championships. Bad Boys, the movies, people like them. I have no idea about the new one. I feel like they should have stopped it too.
I don't know why they did so many.
Because it's free money.
Bad Boys for Life was bad. I didn't see the most recent one, but Bad Boys for Life did not end, and it really should have, like so many times.
It just comes down to the fact that if you know it's guaranteed money,
that's fair.
Then you're just gonna go ahead and do it. And I'm not even. We talked about I might buy Disney next week. The fact that Disney is just saying, whatever, we're just going to make another Frozen movie. We're just going to make another Moana movie. We're just going to make a bunch of sequels that we know every single parent has to make their kid watch or take their kid to watch, and it'll just be free money. It's better than the alternative. Have a good one, Sean.
Good one.
It's better than the alternative where you're making a bunch of content that just angers fans when they're watching it, like in Star Wars. But TAN...
It was bad.
No, it is bad. But you know what? I'm going to pivot. Who cares about TAN? When it comes to Disney, I can say some good things about Disney. Because why not? Disney reports, turns. I know myself. I'm really interested in whether this is going to hold out. We close the week with the green candle above the 88. So that's what I wanted to see. You close it at 89. All we got to do is open up without gapping down or something nasty. And I'm going to try and get into this one Monday or Tuesday. You have a nice allout here underneath the $80 level. It just seems like a good little setup here for Disney. Like you can see where the resistance is, 125 bucks. I mean, if I can get something in the low 90s or in the 80s next week, as long as it opens up there, stop down around the 80 level. That's all I'm looking at for anyone that asks. And Darwin, Deadpool 3, highest grossing R-rated film. Make what people want. Why do you think NVIDIA is the greatest thing in the world? You had Google's former CEO was talking at like one of those big, I forget which school it was. It was like Stanford or Harvard or something, probably Stanford. I think it was actually at West. And he was basically saying, I'm not giving stock advice, but all of the major names like Google and Meta, they're not going to stop spending with NVIDIA. He literally said that to a bunch of college kids, the former CEO of Google.
I saw that
just
on
recently.
CNBC. Yeah.
If you make what people want, you're going to make a lot of money. And NVIDIA up another 1 point today. What an unbelievable week it was for NVIDIA. $90 week ago on Monday, and you're now almost 125 bucks. You're talking about a third, and people were dying to buy this dip.
Yeah.
People were waiting for it to get back into the 100 level. I didn't even get a good price. I think I bought like 108s on the way back or some nonsense. And it still works on NVIDIA. It doesn't matter when this stock catches a bit of a Derek. It's absolutely fantastic. My question to you is, because we get a chance to talk about trade review, see some of the trades.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if you were even in Lilly today.
Wasn't in
I'm going to guess no, which I think is fantastic. We discussed that already yesterday. But did you trade any of NVIDIA? All you needed was one shot.
I did trade NVIDIA. I'm really proud of what I did with NVIDIA. That was my best name of the day by far. Might have been my best name of the week, in all honesty, too. But basically what I did with NVIDIA was that 123, 20-ish VWAP hold I loved. I saw it a while ago, didn't think I would get in, was like, let's wait, let's see. Then right before your lesson of the day, I think around 12, I'm like, okay, I like this. So I get an order ready at 123.33s, I think 31s, 123.31s. At that point, we're around 40s. We slam down there. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be like, I'm getting into a falling knife. I was only gonna risk into 20s, right? So I'm risking like 10 pennies here. We get to 30s. We bounce beautifully. I get filled and I bounce, and I'm like, okay, I'm already comfortable here. The plan was to add once we broke above 50s, because that was the consolidation level. We broke above 50s. I added. I would have wanted to add like one more time, maybe around mid 60s. Wasn't able to get that add. Got out a third of the position at 125s. Once we kind of had that false break, this is the first time we tried to break 125s.
Yep.
Got out there at 124.90s, so about like 50 cents in the money in the average position, and then I think like close like 70 cents in the first part. So I was really happy with what I did. Then I got back in once I noticed that 129 hold. First time I tried to get back in, didn't work. We got to 129.20s, and then I got out like flat at 129s. So we broke below. But then I got back in a third time because I said once 129.20s, that's the resistance. Once we're above 129.20s, that's where you wait to get in. Don't get into a long till we get that 129.20s, break above and retest. So we get to 129.21s because 21. So I get that level.
Do something for me.
It did do something for me, right? So we get back above 31s. Then I add, because 31s was another level I wanted to kind of see where we were chopping and churning. I'm going to stop ranting about this trade now, but I ended up taking like 40 cents of the money on that trade. I'm happy with what I did. No more NVIDIA after that. I had that nice meta breakdown at 5:30, but.
You know what I like? So a lot of new traders will, it's a funny thing about new traders, and when you start your trading career, and I bet, I'm willing to bet, because I know we're going to have Ryan on, and hopefully he can hear me, because I wonder if he knows about this too. Early traders are more apt to average down than they are to average up, which is insane when you think about it. Because when you're starting out, it's like, well, it's going against me, let me get more of it. But you're yet reluctant to add to a position, as Adara was describing, as it's working for you. It wasn't necessarily a mentor, but there was a trader on the floor when I started. And one of the things he said that stuck with me, and I'm not going to pretend that I actually adhere to this by far enough. If you're in a good trade that you really like, and it gets to that first point where you have to make a decision, am I starting to take profit off? It's at a key level. Sometimes the question you should be asking yourself is this a good place to be adding to it as it's working? And I can't tell you how many times I've looked back and reviewed a trade, and my first take profit was the perfect opportunity to have added to the trade in the money. Averaging up, I'm not saying averaging in or whatever, have your own plan, if it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah.
But averaging up is, to me, much more effective than averaging down. I think you have to manage your stops when you do it.
Of course.
Because obviously you're going to be adding a position. If your original stop, you're now risking more unless you tighten up your stop. But there's a lot of things that can be said about joining trends and adding to positions when they're working for you, not when they're working against you. Now, a trader who tends to have things that are working for him.
It's a great transition, Neil.
That's how I roll. It's not that hard to we have fantastic guests in the aftermarket show, and our community and all of our fans are great. So it's really easy to compliment everybody. We have great people in the chat there. And I just saw Rivian Millionaire just said I quickly added my winners. Bang. That's what I like to hear. I love to see that, Rivian Millionaire. That's how you can become a millionaire. Not by buying Rivian, but by averaging into your winners, not your losers. But it's time for Trader Talk. We got Ryan Faluna, someone I know has a few winners to talk about. Hey, Ryan. Good to see you again here. It's Friday. The market's been great the last 2 weeks. You look relaxed with a smile on your face. Everyone around here ended the week. It was a loose feeling on the floor and on the desk because it's been a good one. And it's not always like this in August, but it's certainly been an August to remember, and we're only halfway through here, Ryan.
Something about Fridays that just kind of breeds this loose, conducive feeling that we have here. Totally with you. This week was a wild week. Wild week. I did hear the discussion that you were just having about adding dollar cost averaging, or adding to winners or adding to losers. We can talk about that. I think that's brilliant stuff in there. And actually, that was something that really kind of got me when I was a newer trader. So speaking of that, but if you want to start here with the charts, I'm going to go ahead and start with a little bit of a mea culpa here, okay? The last Friday that I was on your show here, I told you and your guests that all we really did was we filled the gap up here on the Qs. We looked at the SPY chart, which was the same, and we kind of just filled the gap here. And my thought was going to be, well, I wonder if we kind of trade back down. I had also talked to you about IWM. We'll get to that here in a sec. I actually was positioned for this. I was trading SQQQ back and forth a couple of times this week. And as you can see by the chart, boy, I was wrong. So there you go. We talked about this pulling back. We did not do that. Buy the dippers are still in effect here. It's amazing how they've been conditioned to buy the dip here. Eventually, that's not going to work, but it works until it doesn't. So mea culpa here on the QQQ. It's okay to be wrong, not okay to stay wrong. And that's one of the things that we're going to have to do here as traders. The other aspect of this that I wanted to cover was that my thesis was that IWM was going to push higher.
Yeah.
And sure enough, we got a little bit of a trade up there as well. So I'm hoping that we can fill this gap and then maybe trade back up to this 220 area. We'll see if we get that next week. We got the Fed next week, so a lot's going to happen.
Absolutely. You know what? I say that line once a day. I usually, almost every time I review a trade live on the show, where I like it when my losses are boring. I had my entry. It never really even gave me a chance to take profit. There's my stop. Look at it. It's going even. If I'm short, it's going even higher. I'm long. It's tanking even further. It is what it is. Losing is the cost of doing business as a trader, right? You're going to go to the casino. It's the cost of doing business. You're going to lose money unless you are the casino. At least when you're controlling your own decisions, you have a plan of action that you can adhere to, and it's an important thing. I love the line. It's okay to be wrong because it's part of the game. That's the game that's the life that we live as traders. It's not okay to stay wrong. And this is where I get to about like adding to losing trades. If you have a plan of action that's like, I don't like being all in at this price. My stop is at 100. I want to buy in front of it. I don't think it's getting there. I want to buy at 100 half or something like that. But I want to give myself some room to be able to add the quarters. And I'm going to have an average price of this with this many shares when it breaks that level. That's part of your plan. You never want to be, I just believe this is going to work. Let's just keep going here until I don't have any more buying power, until the system stops me out. So I love the honesty there. Ryan, which I know you do, but we're gonna say we love it anyways, and everyone here appreciates it. I love that look on IWM as well. I just wanted to quickly point out, like this one technically is about as good as it's gonna get on the daily chart in terms of bouncing. It's almost comical how good that one looks, bouncing off a 200-period moving average, breaking out and gapping above the 50-period. My question just quickly is, there's this kind of consolidation support level that we had here about like 216.50. What are your thoughts on that going in next week for IWM? Is that like a stop zone, or do you think it's going to have the juice to get through?
Yeah, that's a good question. And really, that's going to be my question. I would not be shocked. And in fact, I'd actually like to see it maybe kind of trade up to that level and then kind of test it before breaking through. That'd make me feel a little bit more confident about the move. That is going to be former support, now turn resistance though, right? So when we trade up there, it's totally possible that we find some resistance and maybe even get a regressive move from that spot. How much we break down will then tell us whether or not we're going to buy the dip. Obviously, you can kind of look to the macro angle of this too. What's the Fed going to say about rates? Rates, are we going to raise them? What does it look like there? How does that affect some small cap stocks that are having trouble borrowing money in the whole 9 yards? So there's a lot of unknown in there. But to answer your question directly, what I would like to see is actually kind of a battle or a test at that level before finally punching through.
Yeah, I think sometimes you want to see it confirm that the level matters and is important before it breaks through. A lot of times you're like, I see that big line in there. If it just kind of punches through with too much gusto, it doesn't give you a chance to make a decision on it. Speaking of making decisions, now this ASTS, we talk about it on the show. Traders are going to trade what they're comfortable with and what they're used to trading. So I started as a penny stock trader. I'll trade these sometimes, but when the chips are moving, I'm trading NVIDIA like everybody else, Intel maybe. You throw some things in there. I'll trade a lot of Rivian, some Tesla. I know the stocks I'm going to end up trading. ASTS, which one of our other hosts has been calling Astis on the show.
Okay.
I don't want to blame Sharif.
Was it you, Adara?
It might be my fault.
Well,
It might be both
okay.
of us.
Well,
Okay.
We're gonna blame Sharif.
That's awesome.
First off, kudos to you for trading this thing. The chart is it's unbelievable. First off, and it's not your typical stock that would do something like this. Like we're talking about something with 130 million float. I know it's a short float of like 21%, but it's like a $7 billion market cap. It's not the daily chart of what I'm expecting when I see something like this. So please tell me what your plan of action was on it. I did trade it today. I tried to trade it to the short side for some scalps. As it was breaking 30, I just kept taking the 30 break, scalping some out and looking for a hold, thinking it'd get to 25. I didn't lose money on it, but none of them really followed through. So I was up on the stock, but I just never really had a hold of it because I missed that big reversion that it did early.
Okay, so it's funny that you asked me, how do you trade this? Because I'm probably the last person that you should have asked that to. Should have probably prepared you for that ahead of time. This ASTIS, to go with the theme here, this is without a doubt the biggest miss of 2024 for me. So personally, I'm actually kind of angry. And I'll tell you why. If we take a look at the daily chart here, I mean, this move, this is insane. This stock is in a 2-handle in mid-May, and here we are printing above 30s here today. This is exactly the type of swing trade move that I want to catch, and I flat out miss this. Let's talk about trader psychology for a bit. All right. So first of all, I'm a nerd, definitely. I'm into space travel. I like this stuff. I really, really do. My co-host on the morning show in the morning is all about this stuff and was on top of this from the first time that it moved. And every time I took a look at it, I said, you know what? I don't want to chase this. Look at the move that this is making. This thing has been in overbought territory since May 15th. And I keep telling myself, man, I don't want to chase this. I don't want to chase it. So I never did. Now, today, I finally broke down. So we're going to zoom into an intraday chart now. I finally broke down another mea culpa that I gave on my show this morning. Look, this is the biggest miss of 2024 for me. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to trade this here today. As I'm watching this rocket out of the gate, I'm like, not going to chase. We're going to be patient. Stay patient or you'll be one. So we're going to be patient. We wait for the short to really kind of bottom out that first bounce that we had. Masterful call by our chat this morning. I was in on that bounce. And then when it rolled back over, I was kind of waiting for this to firm back up. We got a couple of breaks to go higher. So I was actually able to scalp this 2 more times in the afternoon. So while I did not make a whole lot on this, I can feel a little bit better that while this is my biggest miss, I still was able to extract some money out of this here today. So I'm sorry if that's not the answer that you were expecting, but that's the reality of what was going on here with Astis.
The answer, you know what? There's a line I really like, and it's one of my favorites. And it's like if you care about somebody, tell them what you think. If you care about yourself, tell them what they want to hear. So look, I'm gonna be dead honest, but like you just told me like that buy into 29. Like I was looking to short that first pop. I'm saying I didn't lose money on it, but I was like, what should I have been doing on this? I feel like I can't remember the last time I traded something that had that kind of a ridiculous sustained move on the day that it made that kind of a peak. So I was looking for some insights on it. You could have just told me a bunch of stuff that sounded great to me and to everybody, but you told everybody the truth. And that's all a trader, as traders, we can ever ask for. And it's an unbelievable chart. I 100% get you, but it's hard to think about chasing something when it did that on that daily. It's unbelievable. There's not many words you can use to describe something like this when it starts to go. It's meme-esque, and it's not in that same necessary class. Like nobody's sitting here pumping it like a roaring kitty or talking about the options and on Reddit about it. Maybe there are, and I just am unaware of it. But good look for you about being honest. My question would be, do you have any swing ideas for us that are the next Astis?
Yes. The next Astis.
There isn't going to be another one like that.
Spot there. I don't know if I've got something that's going to run 700-800%, but I do have 2 potential, I guess you could call them swings here. One of them's for an earnings trade on Monday. Okay. The first one we're going to start with here was a trade that was triggered long yesterday. I can't remember if I've discussed this with you before. This is BROS, ticker BROS, Bravo, Romeo, Oscar, Sierra. This stock recaptured its 200-day and then started to push away here. We're also in a gap that fills up to 35. So what I'm looking for here, I actually took my first starter position trying to front run the recapture of the 200-day. I felt pretty strongly about this, especially with the bounce off the bottom of this broadening wedge that we're seeing here as well, also on the daily chart. I took a starter there. I added near the end of the day, and I added again here today. So I am ready. And you were talking about adding to winners. I was up from the first buy on this one. You talk about that psychology a little bit as well. And I'm hoping, my hope here is to close this gap up to 35. If I'm able to do that, I'll peel off a majority of the position and leave a trailer on in case we go test the 50-day that's up here about 38.5 or thereabouts. So that's the swing that I'm looking for here. Stop is probably going to be, I want it to be break even. We'll see what Monday looks like. If this trades up at all on Monday, my stop will probably be break even. If it comes back in and really kind of holds this 200-day, I'll sit there and see how it reacts around the 200-day. The other one that I took here is going to be PanW. And for we actually took a double butterfly here on PanW. This stock is going to report earnings on Monday after hours. So I have an upside butterfly and a downside butterfly. As long as this thing moves 15 points post earnings, those butterflies should clean up and we should be good to go Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday whenever we close them.
Yeah, and the thing about PanW, they say anything at all about getting any extra business off the CrowdStrike fiasco. Believe you me, that's like, there just has to be some kind of a benefit for them, and I think that people are going to love that tape. But I looked at that bros, and it did something which is, bro, this is awesome. Fabian just said it, he's like, bro. Yeah, bro, this is really good. Look at the trend line on the bottom. And sometimes the best thing that can happen is when you psych everybody out on earnings, breaks that trend only to regain it. Heck of a catch there, Ryan. That's a gorgeous looking bounce. And when you talk about looking for bounce plays, like let a stock get there. Like let it get there, let it go off that level, and now you have a gap to maybe even like 35, 36 that's in play with the 50 period. And it's got a 9% short flow. Love some bros. I've never had Dutch Brothers. I've heard good things about it, but the chart looks gorgeous regardless of what you think about the cuisine there, Ryan. That's a gorgeous looking trade. I have to admit it. Sometimes, you look at a chart and you can't help but smile when you, and if you're long in that stock, it's even better. So yeah, nothing's going to be the next ASTS until you get something. That's the whole point. What makes it that is that it's really difficult to see continuing. I think with that Dutch Bros trade, kudos, and especially with PanW as well, simple concepts that I think a lot of us can wrap our head around, because ASTS, difficult to wrap your head around that one.
Yeah, definitely. And as far as the PanW goes, I mean, PanW, in my opinion, is best in breed when it comes to cybersecurity. It is actually my biggest trade of the year from earlier this year. Took it with equity, swung it for like a week and made a ton. I think I made like 30-something points. I got the Pelosi push in there, so I can't take credit for it, but I was at least long in that. So I really like PanW. What I like about this is that earnings, binary events like this can be a little bit of a gamble, but I had the bros chart up, but having a double butterfly on here, I don't really care if it trades up or down. That doesn't matter to me. All it needs to do is move more than the market makers expect, which I think is about $12.40. We move $15 on this double butterfly, we're going to be fine on that. So I don't like picking a direction. I like playing for the movement. That's really the thesis here in PanW. We talked about this with Anne-Marie Bam this morning. Absolutely love it. Love the stock. Love the setup. Love the trade on here.
And that's all you can ever do. You can just come up with the idea that you love, and then you put the risk in and let the chips fall where they may. That's a real trader talking right there every single time. Ryan, we absolutely love having you on. It's a blast. The honesty, the great calls, and you said a mea culpa for missing out on something that pretty much everybody missed out on. Not some people are chatting congratulations to them, saying they were in ASTS, and I'm like, that's absolutely amazing. But a lot of people missed out on this one. I think we got to be honest enough to admit it. Have yourself an absolutely fantastic weekend, Ryan. Good luck on both Bros and PanW, and we'll check back in on those next week.
Sounds good. You two have a great weekend. Thanks again for having me on.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Mea culpa. And it's, we're the Canadians are the ones that's supposed to be apologizing all the time. And I think, at the end of the day, it's really cool. It's just always really cool to see the honest talking. That's what we try to keep doing on Trader TV Live is just keep it real with you guys. Trading is never going to be the easiest thing in the world. It's not that kind of a game, but it can be an absolutely rewarding one and a fun one at times, as long as you find things that work for you and you adhere to your own rules, as Ryan is always saying. You guys know what time it is. We're ending off the week. It's been a fun week. It's been a good week.
It's been a great week.
It's been an up week. Kind of flat today, but it's still been an up week. Let's be real about it. So let's get up in the chat for roll call. Get your name in there. Thank everybody. Thank Ryan. Thank Bears versus Bulls. Thank our community. And get Adara to rhyme the names off. Let's go.
Yeah, thank you everybody for being in the chat. We got Ryan Faluna in the chat. Shout out to you. Thank you so much, Ryan, for being here. We have Neil Roberts right here next to me. We got Fabian there. Shout out to Wilter and me who's not here right now. We also have, of course, Bears versus Bulls. Thank you for everything you do. Ryan Faluna. We got Spark Shop. We got Mahishi Watkins. We got Fun Bubble. Neil Roberts in the chat again. We have Mark L. We have Brandon Townsend. Waiting for some more people. Lydia Hernandez. I'm going up now. For Profit, the Piper CompuCare team. Shades Trades F. We have the Piper in here again. Mr. IN. JMC, we got Hold My Beer, we got Finch Jane, we got the Real Tech Geek. Neil Roberts will shitting out Obi for filling in for Sharif. Shout out to Obi, long Adobe, question mark. Yeah, we had a really fun show today, so shout out to him for filling in there, killing it. Paul, we got the Philanthropist Baker, we have Michael, we've got Chandler, we got Happy Zombie, we got Honcho Trades, Fat Big, Happy Zombie again, Tiny Pie, Rich Naples, Jeff, so many beats. We've got Hold My Beer, Mr. IN, Tim Snyder. We have Sharouz. We have so many beats again in here. T2 certified. Vince J. We got to get some more people in here. It's a lot of repeats. But Extreme in the chat. We always go extreme and go hard every single day. Mostly just repeats here. But have a great day, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much for being here every single day. We're grateful to all of you, and I love reading all of your names very quickly.
There it is, as always, as advertised, the fastest minute in all of YouTube. Right there, however long it is, it doesn't make a difference. Our roll call is the absolute best, knocking it out of the park every single day. I have no idea how Adara has so much energy. She's probably stealing some from Sean, although it doesn't seem like it. Fantastic job. I love the fact that you're averaging up on trades already. I can't say that enough. I don't think I had the stones to average up until I was like, it took a while. But let's be real. I think it's really, really cool. That's the best thing about our community. We can all learn from each other. We can all get better because in this game, all you can do is make the next day better than the previous one. So that's what we're going to try and do on Monday. We're going to come right back, 8:30, Monday morning, Trader TV Live, better than ever. Let's go get them. Have a great weekend, everybody.
See you guys.